horizon that we're seeing is not physical. It's
No,
refracted.
nothing you buy. Hold your hand out in front of you. Is that your physical hand you're seeing?
Correct.
No, it's not. Hold your hand out in front of you. Is that your physical hand you're seeing?
Correct.
No, it's not. Hold your hand out in front of you. Is that your physical hand you're seeing?
Correct.
No, it's not.
And we're off. Barely. As usual, if you'd like to support this channel, there are PayPal and Patreon links in the info box below. Let's head on over to Discord and see if the beautiful Betty Van Velsen is here. Betty.
Yeah, I made it just in a nip of time.
I
because my
tell you
computer
what,
acted up.
I wasn't confident. I left no less than 30 seconds ago and you weren't there.
Yeah, that's true. It was just in the middle. It took a long, long time for my computer to really work again.
How about the mic?
That's the thing too. It's always a thing, right?
Yeah, it's always a thing. Especially hearing you. I got to turn you up, and then when other people speak, they blow my eardrums out.
Oh, it's me, right? You're doing it for me. Right?
Yeah, that's right. So what do you got?
That's commitment.
So what do you got? Yeah, commit. Yeah, that's right. It is a commitment. The Shady Meadows.
Well, I didn't know you were there too.
What do you mean you didn't know I was here too?
Yeah, because I thought you were somewhere else, and then that the other people were there for the slobber nurses, but you are there too.
I wasn't in Shady Meadows.
Yes, you said so. You're
No.
in Shady
No,
Meadows.
you are.
Yeah. You were caught, and now you're.
No, we're
trying to
not. You're
get out.
not. I was
You're caught.
never caught.
Always.
Well, listen. Do we
Yeah.
have any team members in here? Because somebody's going to have to pick up the pace here. I'm working on very little sleep.
Why?
Because I was on storm patrol for the last 18 hours.
So how many hours did you sleep then?
I went to bed at 3:45 this morning, so 3:45, 5, 6.
So little faith, QE. Why are you fretting and worrying over a storm?
Well,
yeah. Just
gotta
say,
be-
please be quiet. and
not
it's
a
over.
storm. I mean, this is because I'm responsible for the people in my household also.
If you would have been that, then you would have had a basement to flee into.
You know what? That never struck me when we moved in. It's a whole huge story, even though I got a great house. But the military has this thing, because I was still in the military when I purchased this home. And I came from California. And they only give you a certain amount of time to get, your housing situation squared away. And my wife and I already decided that, this was because I was getting pretty close to retirement, a few years away from retirement when we moved here. And when I was stationed here, and her parents are, she's from Missouri and her parents are from Missouri. So we had decided previously that, hey, we want to get a home here. This is where we're going to live. But I was limited on the amount of time that I had. it sounds like an excuse, but really it isn't. It was only just
It is.
it really isn't. It was only just a few days. And I did review, I have to admit, what the floodplains, because I definitely didn't want to get flooded here, right? Because I was well aware of the flood situations because I had some issues with that in previous places where I've lived, so I got that squared away, but it just didn't strike me, right? Because I'm from the home of the world champion Pittsburgh Steelers, right? I don't know too much about Missouri when I first got here, so.
But the thing is that you said once to me that you didn't want to have a basement because basements leak. And
Yeah,
people get
the
much
flooding thing. Yes.
problems.
Yeah, because I had a lot of problems with that before, right? And I said, but I didn't factor in the other part of it.
Yeah.
Now, we're not in
Well,
tornado.
better to
Now,
be by a tornado than to drown in your basement.
now, shut up. Now, I'm not in Tornado Alley. Even if I was, I wouldn't have known back then. Even if I was, so I'm not covering my butt there. But I'm right beside it, right? I mean, 100 miles away from it, less than that. So, I guess it's my fault. But
We have a
ahead.
bad problem with tornadoes around here where I live too in Alabama. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard, but Tuscaloosa and Cordova got like wiped almost
Yes.
off the map. Yeah.
It's not that I only heard about it; I studied it.
What do you mean
So-
by studying?
By studying
just
the
watched
tornadoes,
video.
you know that because we watched them.
You don't study. The other people study. You just watch along.
I watch along, yeah, because I've done my research on some of those things. Now,
Yeah.
do
They're
I-
quite amazing.
It's more interesting, but
Studying
you
the
just
stars.
you're
Nathan
just
the
an
other day.
onlooker.
The stars.
Shut up, Neil.
So, what were we talking about anyway? You got me off on a tangent and stuff.
That you're an onlooker and say that you're a researcher.
Okay, fair enough.
Thanks.
I'll take that one. I'm an onlooker. I've looked into the various tornadoes.
Yeah, in the middle of the night. So kudos for you.
Thank you.
Betty.
And now, what's going to be ahead of the time now?
So the Tuscaloosa, she was like saying, "Well, about the Tuscaloosa one, we get." Yeah, I already know that.
What
Thanks.
about the Cordova? Did you hear about Cordova?
Yes.
What are names?
Cordova is right next to Jasper where I live. So
Yeah.
Ooh.
There was
That came
there was a bigger one. That
yes, I remember because we were without power for like over a week. That one that came through here. I remember being without power for over a week in a home that I had just gotten.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful 3-bedroom house, and I got it with my roommate, one of my best friends. We had just moved in there, and we were already having to like light candles just to see in the house. It was so funny.
Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to remember the exact name because I just got done not researching it, Betty, but it was a real badass hurricane. It was like an F4. They were having discussions on whether it was an F4 and F5, and it was right near where she lives, where Flatsy lives. I can't remember the name of it offhand. It's been a long night, but yes.
Bobby, you in the chat says that basements are expensive, and she also says that it's difficult to keep them dry.
Yeah, that's the big part about the basement issue. Yeah, yep. So
You know what? Here in Holland, we live below sea level, supposedly. We have dry basements.
Huh.
Must be
Because you
something
got
with
good drainage.
You must be doing something right, Betty.
Yeah.
Don't
about
hey Brian, but always remember you'll still be Irish.
Thank you, Brian. For
Yeah,
speaking up for
we
me.
live up on hills where you don't get drained.
See, everybody's smarter than you.
Yeah. But to put a capper on this one, we're not out of the woods yet because tomorrow is supposed to be potentially worse than last night.
I thought you said that this last night would have been one of the worst since 5 years.
Well, they put out a rare high-level risk in Kansas and Oklahoma, real big area. And that's the first time they did it in 5 years. So everyone was expecting real bad. Now, there was a real bad tornado down in Oklahoma that killed a couple people. But it was hype more. It's not their fault because they can only look at the environment. That's all there's so many different variables. They can only put out the environment, which what they think would be prone to, hypercyclonic supercells that would produce long track destructive, like above F3 tornadoes. Right? So they had everyone on edge. And what had happened was there was only a couple tornadoes in Oklahoma. They had a part of Kansas also in that zone. But all the tornadoes, the majority of the tornadoes, you can't believe this, we're in South Dakota, Minnesota, and then all this stuff is moving east. So it started like Midwest or mid-Kansas, mid-Oklahoma, and start pushing into the prone area or the environment where storms could just get absolutely crazy. And usually what happens, I'm not a meteorologist, and I didn't sleep in a Holiday Inn Express last night either. But what usually the deal is, once you get past midnight, somewhere around that time, then the tornado effect goes down. It just doesn't have enough energy to work with, right? But
now I'm thinking you did. I'm thinking you did sleep in a. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So, but I know
Just saying that.
I know a little bit about the workings. I'm not a total idiot, but in this particular case, they put out a warning that stated, don't take this into account. This is a different scenario, that it's going to get worse at nighttime. And I said, oh, this is going to get bad. Right? So all those storms, I'm watching them. I started at 4:30 yesterday afternoon. I was watching them because I got like what I call my guys on YouTube. They're professional meteorologists, and they have storm chasers. And when they pulled all the storm chasers up, they were all in Oklahoma. Right? Because that was the biggest area that was the threat. So they all go to Oklahoma. I'm sitting there. Okay, and I'm
What
watching.
about me?
Yeah. Well, it's not a big deal, but it's a good thing. When I see that there's no storm chasers around my area, that's a thumbs up. But what had happened was they weren't reporting on any tornadoes. Now, there were bad storms, but not a lot of tornadoes, save for that one, like I told you. Now, that was in the northeast corner of Oklahoma. Well, that's near Joplin, and everyone knows what happened to Joplin in 2011, and that's in Missouri, right? Where they had an F5 tornado. It just killed hundreds of people and leveled the city. However, these storms they weren't supercells anymore. They're in a line. So that's more advantageous because you don't get long track, super hyper, F3 and above tornadoes in line. So I'm starting to think to myself, okay, this is a good thing. But once they crossed the western Missouri line, which I'm only 100 miles away from, then the tornado warnings started coming out. They were left and right. Boop boop. Tornado warning here. Tornado warning here. All the tornado warnings all of a sudden in Missouri, and I'm sitting there. Okay. Watching these things go to the west. I'm timing it up. Got the radar, got all kind of radars up, and timing it up because the whole family's asleep. I let them go to sleep. And it's 1:30 in the morning. And I'm watching and I'm saying, okay, how much time do I have? And I hope they cancel these tornado warnings. But they were using radar to spot these tornadoes. And usually you can see them, but they're radar acquired. No one spotted them because not a lot of times, but sometimes there'll be tornadoes up in the upper atmo, but they're not touching the ground. So it looks like a tornado, but it's actually not on the ground. You follow what I'm saying? So they have to warn those. But there were no chasers. There were no spotters because they were all in Oklahoma. And they report back to the National Weather Service down in Norman, Oklahoma. You follow what I'm saying? So there was nobody to confirm or deny. The local news is going apey talking about these tornadoes. I usually don't watch the local news. I stick with my guys are like 4 or 5 echelons above the local news guys.
No, your guys.
Yeah, so I call them my guys.
Yeah, do you pay them?
I don't.
They pay you guys.
I don't.
Do you know that back in good old 2011, I was in college?
That's lovely. Thanks, Flatsy. That was very poignant to the story I'm telling.
You said something about 2011, and I've been thinking the whole time, I was in college back then.
That's amazing. What was your favorite color back then?
Chartreuse.
Oh man, I'm having a good time listening to you talk about tornadoes.
Yep. So they start now.
It's fresh on his mind.
They start to get, they're 30 miles away, and then the tornado warnings increase. And the polygons to which they put out, out in front of it, are right at my doorstep. They're right there. And I'm sitting there, oh my God, here we go. There's tornadoes everywhere. So I had to get everyone up. And my buddy right across the street, he's got a huge house and a big basement, so it's not a problem. And I woke him up in plenty of time. There was just some wind. The sky was clear, in fact, when we went over. But all in all, it was right as they got close, they started winding down. That means the storms at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, because by the time they got to us, it was 2 o'clock in the morning. It seemed to take the edge off them, but they were still badass. It was just a lightning bomb barrage, right? So, and high winds, we were fortunate in that sense. But Wednesday, I don't think we're going to be so fortunate.
Oh, don't call it on to yourself, right?
It
Right.
doesn't. It doesn't look. It looks like our area might. This looks. I don't know. I haven't gathered all the information yet because I have to do the show. But I'll start gathering information this evening on it. But it doesn't look good for Missouri, Arkansas, up into parts of the Ohio Valley. I know they're under it again today. I'm starting to get a little storm punchy though, because
In the
it's.
sense of,
Say again.
in the sense of, what do we mean by that?
Just all my focus is on that, and I'm starting to get a little punchy with it.
Punchy.
It's hard to describe. It's
You want to fight with the storm?
nah. It's like it's.
Fight
Put it
Can
to
you
you this-
imagine?
Yeah. Put it to you this way: tomorrow, and well. Fortunately, it's not going to be tomorrow night. It's going to be tomorrow, starting at 10 o'clock in the morning. So there's so many variables, right? That's why they can't predict the weather. You know what I mean? Not precisely. There's just too many variables, right? Nature's it's impossible. Even with supercomputers, you can't do it because you just don't have all the information. And then if one variable ceases, then that affects all the other variables, right? So it's not an exact science, is what I'm trying to say. It's not science anyway, but
Somebody in the chat says, I'm a punch that storm in its face.
That's Owl. That's my friend.
Yeah.
Nice.
You ain't punching these storms in the face, brother.
Nah.
It was supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An atheist would tell you.
Punching one.
Oh, here we go. We got a philosopher. Go ahead.
I said the storms be the ones punching.
Not you. The atheist would tell you. Philosopher guy.
An atheist would tell you what sort of God would create a tornado that could kill people and wipe out families.
Well, they
And on
haven't
the
read.
surface, they appear to hold on. On the surface, they appear to be a bug in the system. But if you think, would it be appropriate to say that they're more of an entropy accelerator and a way of the Earth resetting itself? As another example would be forest fires.
Yeah, you could put anything in there. It wouldn't just be storms, right? It would just be everything.
Unless it's manufactured.
What does God have to do with tornadoes?
We can use
Because
tornadoes.
he created the Earth, and nothing's by chance, nothing's by accident. There's no bugs in the
So
system.
we created the earth, and are we not living in fallen creation?
We do.
I was going to say at the beginning, because I rudely interrupted him, I was going to give him the answer.
Oh God, you were having on a monologue for like the last 20 minutes.
Well, I was
It's
passionate.
his show.
I was
Well, I want to hear the answer. Go ahead, QE.
I was saying.
I
I
was
wanna hear
passionate.
you.
I was passionate about the tornado
No?
thing. I usually don't monologue for hours unless it's like a presentation or something. Usually quick and concise.
I love it. I love
your way of monologuing and ranting.
You
You're
gotta
like-
love Betty.
Yeah, she's like the incoherent heckler from the from the sideline.
Place that word there.
You guys are in rare form today. Like you have me laughing. Booger has me laughing, and you guys have me laughing. I'm just in a really good mood today. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Not as in the mood that QE will be if he loses more sleep over this.
Oh, and then I'm sitting here
Yeah.
I'm sitting there getting ready to lay down. I had the news on. I was trying to wind down a little bit late last night, and all I hear is drip.
Oh my God, that's nasty.
I hear this, something like just tiny drips out of a faucet, right?
Mhm.
Because there were still storms. It was still raining. Like it wasn't just over, right? You had in back of it, it was still pretty heavy rain and a little bit of lightning. And all I
was it
can,
the
what's happening. My roof.
Oh yeah, basements and roofs. Very
Yeah. So So that was really the end of the story.
Windows could be
A good way to get sleep when you hear something is to have some white noise.
Oh,
Maybe a
thanks.
fan.
Yeah. No. I never heard of that before.
Oh my
You
gosh.
use a fan all the time, but how can you fan away a tornado coming down your street?
She's talking
No,
about
I mean
the
the
drip.
drip. I go to sleep to white noise because
Thanks, Flatsy. I just been doing it since 2009.
oh my goodness. So you heard the drip through the white noise, or you didn't have white noise?
If you paid attention to what I was saying, I wasn't in bed yet.
Sorry.
Oh, good grief! You. You. Oh, Nathan Oakley. He said we may begin.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Jeez, it's like talking to my sister's kids here.
Pay attention.
That's a compliment.
Oh, good God.
All right, so now you got the lowdown. So, but I did want to have a show today. But tomorrow is going to be.
So these guys of yours, I mean, if anybody else needs help watching tornadoes, who are these guys then?
Called the Y'all Squad.
The old squad?
The Y'all Squad. What they do is they 503. What do they call that? A 503 tax exempt. What they do is they go online. They had over 1 million people in their live stream last night. That's how many people follow these guys. And what they do is they collect money. They collected, I think it was $63,000 in like 25 minutes last night, because one of the tornadoes, the real nasty ones, hit some place, like I said, in Northeast. I think it was called Barnstall or Bartersville, Oklahoma, and it destroyed the whole town. In fact, they had to evacuate the town because it busted open all the gas lines and there were fires everywhere. So they had to evacuate the whole. I think a couple people died. I haven't got the the full deal. But anyway, what they do is those storm chasers they have the ability to write checks to people right on the spot. So what they do is they go into these places, and people, they have nothing left and they have nowhere to go, and they just write them checks on the spot. So that's their game. That's what that's what they go ahead.
The damages are for millions of dollars. I mean, how could they can't recompense everybody that
No, they
can
can't.
give
But
them money for food. I
no,
suppose.
they can't. But if you don't have anywhere to go, and you have no
Mhm.
money, and you have no place to live, so I don't know, a couple $1,000s in your hand right then seems to
that's-
help.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Hmm.
They're very good. I really like this. These guys sound like they're doing some good stuff because people really would need that at that point.
Yeah, and they're like the first responders. They're the ones that go into those towns. They're the first ones because they're chasing these things. Sometimes they get chased, and sometimes they lose their lives. But anyway, they're usually the first ones in there, and they are doing mass casualties and being the first ones on the ground there. So yeah, those guys are high speed. Betty and I have watched them before, so
Mm-hmm.
they're high
Not in the middle
speed.
of the night, though.
Say again?
Not really in the middle of the night as you have.
Right, exactly. And you know what they did to me? That they're on for 11 hours yesterday. That all these tornado warnings are on, and I'm over at my buddy's basement, so I don't go to the local radar. I pull their stream up because they're on it. I mean, they are on top of any single warning. They even call warnings before the storm center in Norman, Oklahoma call them. That's how good these guys are, because they got 2 meteorologists right there on staff. I mean, they're on the YouTube channel. And it's 10 minutes before the storms get there, and they close the stream down. I said, you got to be friggin' kidding me. They said it got too late. The guy was suffering from allergies. He could barely talk, and he goes, we're going to have to go. Oh, my God. So I had to shift to another. It's similar to their channel, but not the same. But I just thought that kind of ironic. I was a little pissy then.
When are you not?
More often than not.
They were 11 hours streaming. I mean, they did something.
Yeah, they could have went to 12 hours. That would have been helpful.
Nathan talks about Bill Paxton, and he saw a flying cow, he says.
Yeah, I thought I seen one the other day. We were watching those. Remember we were watching those tornadoes, Betty?
Yeah, wasn't it part of the roof or something?
I don't know what the heck those things were. I thought I seen a cow. I wouldn't be surprised. Remember that real nasty one? It was a multi-vortex. You have a parent tornado with 8 multi-vortexes spinning in the middle of it.
Yeah, that's wicked.
It was pulling up ground and throwing it.
So basically, where you live, you in those tornado places, you can really see pigs fly, huh?
Yes.
So it's not really out there.
No.
You need to sort of get a different saying then.
The only time I ever saw anything like that, I saw what would be considered a twister that was only 100 foot high, and it was scary to see just at 100 foot. So the terror that one of those must bring to people is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Never want to experience it.
The damage is insane. It derails. Remember that one the other night, Betty? We were watching it. It derailed a train.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
It throws train tracks. It throws trains off the tracks. That's when you know you're in it. Now, not all of them are that powerful because you got the F scales. But anything, ever since I was a kid, there's only a couple things that really scare me. And I told you in the beginning.
Voltards?
Oh, they don't scare me. You know the one. Tornadoes. Just something about it's almost paralyzing.
Well, you have
But
been.
that would be everyone, though. In fairness, that wouldn't be like a personal fear. That's one of those things that everyone's going to be. There's no way to not be scared of that.
Yes,
You know
there
what I mean?
is. Yeah, there's guys that are not scared of them. Yeah, there are.
Actually, I suppose there is, as they chase them around, don't they?
Yeah.
What am I saying? Sorry. Yeah.
I mean, they're fanatical about it too, man.
Well, they
Go ahead.
are hyped when they're doing this, right? You see them being hyped. Totally.
But you know what? It's a little bit like big wave surfers.
Yep.
You know, it's like they're terrifying for everyone else, but not for those big wave surfers. But I listened to an interview with one of them many years ago, this lad in Hawaii, and he was saying that he's not scared of dying in that big wave. He said he's scared of dying in a car crash or from cancer. He said that terrifies him. He said, at least if I die in the big wave, I'm dying doing something I love. He said, I'm not going to die randomly when I don't know what's coming. At least I know that death is on the doorstep when I'm more or less when I'm in that big wave. I can die right there and then. He said, I suppose in a way it's a little bit like you have a little bit of control over in some way, or it's perceived control over when you're going to die. But he said with a car crash, or he said with a cancer or something, he said you don't know when that's going to hit. So it comes down to sometimes it's easier for people to. It's like people who climb. I have a cousin of mine who climbs these massive, huge cliff faces in different places in the world. He did for years. It's like,
Yeah, my husband. Sorry.
Go on, Flatsy. Go on.
I was going to say my husband used to climb those cell phone towers all the way up to the tippy top, and it would be differing how high he would have to climb. He'd send me pictures from up there, and the Earth is flat, guys. Did you know that?
Yeah.
But it is true. Some people they go towards the extreme because the mundane is more scary for them. It's just the way it is.
All right, we done with that? We done with the tornadoes?
Is Adam coming, or is he not? Is he in Italy or something?
He's in Italy. He said he'd stop in. I told him, you better be here, mister. So.
Huh.
I think he's on his last night of holiday for the moment, so I don't know if he'll turn up.
Well, if he's sane, he shouldn't. I mean, being on holidays and vacation and just enjoy the scenery there, right?
Well, if there isn't anything, then it's my fault, because I promised that I was going to get a presentation together on submarines. And I meant to do it last night, and I forgot all about it.
And that's why Adam shouldn't come or wouldn't come?
No, that's why.
You've been slacking, Brian.
What, Neil?
You've been slacking lately.
Yeah, I have been, Neil.
You talk to Adam too much with his presentation that never comes.
We don't even bring it up anymore.
No.
We could be watching the Sabine video, but thanks, Brian, for not letting us do that.
I'm sorry, E-Flatsy.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
I already got an earful of that yesterday off of QE.
That's okay. I'll still do the treatment, but you folks will excuse me if it doesn't get done this evening or tomorrow. So we'll get the Sabine. I'll go ahead and do the treatment on her anyway.
Have some pepper.
I know what Brian will enjoy doing. The video on Dell.
No, I won't. I have absolutely.
Dell. But
Is he
I have
still
no.
Is
I
he
have
still
no
around?
interest in. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Betty. Go ahead, ask, because you asked.
Yeah,
You asked the same
is he
question.
still around? Dell.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
What are you talking about, Neil?
It was a joke. Because
Oh,
I know Brian is thrilled to answer Dell again.
How can you be into him?
No, Dell's whole premise is debunked by a weighing scales. That's the end of that. Even if he has a point, even if there's something going on that's a bit weird, his presumed cause is wrong. But yeah, he's sticking to this presumed cause.
didn't we debunk that like 6-7 months ago?
Yeah, Bob, Neil is the one bringing it up, not me.
Remember, Neil? Rachie 00000000000 IQ.
Yeah, but listen, he's stubborn and he's still going on it. So,
Well, maybe we should chase that down.
I was bored Saturday, so I tuned in.
You need a hobby.
You too.
But see,
I got one.
sorry, Betty.
Huey, I'm in the car driving all day. If I don't stay amused, I'm going to fall asleep and crash somewhere.
Keep him amused, QE. You're like a gladiator in the ring. Are you not amused?
Well, all you have to do is have, like a picture book of Betty's sister, and then you'll be amused for most of the time.
All right,
How would
Betty,
you
I got
know?
a question. I keep hearing this. Well, didn't we debunk Dell already? Well, didn't we debunk everybody already? And yet you're still putting up videos of Sabina Hassenfelder and Dissenfelder
Yeah, but
and
she,
Dessenfelder.
That's
but she's more pertinent,
something,
Neil.
I need a
She's
hobby.
more pertinent, Neil. She's more pertinent. Dell is in our own community, or a subset of this community. Look, Dell is going to do what he's going to do, regardless of what anyone says to him.
Yeah.
Right? That is the way it's going to be. Just like Witsit, no matter how many times you point out that he doesn't have any proof for the claims he's making, how you
Yeah,
point out
that's
that what
true.
he's calling proof is not proof, no matter what you do, he's going to keep doing it. Now,
How
we might address
silly
it
is
here
it?
and there. Go on, Flatty.
Oh, I was going to say, how silly is it that Flat Earth has denominations now? That's silly.
I know, it's ridiculous. Like, I mean, you have Bev and the Try Thinking crew, you have Dell and his upward rising outdoors, you have the Ethereans over with Witsit and that, and then you have us, basically.
I've noticed that these denominations don't like to discuss entropy.
Well, look, you can't stop people. They're going to do what they're going to do anyway. It's like, regardless of what you show them, they're not going to, like, it is one of those situations where no matter what you show them, they're not going to take it on board. They're not going to learn. Witsit is not going to stop talking about ether. He's just not, he's ramping it up. Rather than talking less about it, he's talking more about it. Dell is going to continue talking about and talk even more about an upward moving Earth. Bev is going to talk even more about how topography debunks that the Earth is flat. That's not going to stop. Those things are not going to stop. You can go through it all with them. It doesn't matter. They're still going to churn out this nonsense.
Huh. That's pretty depressing.
Yeah, I mean, we will address, especially with ether and stuff, more than the rest. On our own side, it'll be mostly ether and the dielectric acceleration that we'll address. Like the whole Dell thing, that's finished with the weighing scales, right? Over, right? The thing with Bev, that's a miss. I don't know what's going on there. Like, I mean, I don't see what the problem is. The main problem was that Bev was treating flat as a geometric claim as opposed to realizing that it's just a descriptor, right? Doesn't matter. The point is, we'll probably address ether and that mostly from our side.
Well, you have
But
to, you don't have to do anything with Bev. I mean, anyone that can breathe on their own, he's compromised, right? You don't have to do.
Well, the whole issue with him was that he didn't, like, he was treating flat as a geometric claim. That was the whole issue. That was the issue, and he's still treating it like a geometric claim. When he brings up topography, it means he's misunderstanding flat.
Well,
Do you know what I mean? If I say the earth is flat and he brings up topography, then there's a misunderstanding of flat, isn't it?
no, he's retarded.
It can be described in different ways. Still, do you know what I mean? I don't like to use that term unless I'm talking about the ballers. Because, but see, the thing is, Bev has proven himself to not be retarded. He's proven himself to be that way. He's proven that he has proven through geometry and surveying, he's proven to understand things, and he's proven to be able to. You know,
you're gonna have to send me. That's bullshit. You're gonna have to.
It doesn't matter. Why do I have to defend it?
Because you made a claim for it.
Right. But he's proven himself not to be.
You just did it again.
But you yourself used to talk to Bev at one time. I mean, for me, it seems like Bev hit a brick wall.
Yeah, when he had
that's
some
what it's like for me.
I never said I never talked to him. What does that have to do with you proving what you just claimed?
Well, he has shown to have some understanding of geometry and surveying.
There you go again. Okay.
Well, look, okay, I can't really support the claim. I guess. Okay. I don't know. I don't have any examples to give you right now.
But I've talked to him. Is that your argument?
That's all I have right now. I'm going to be honest.
I don't think it's gonna make it because I've talked to plenty of retarded people. Tell him, Betty.
Well,
You mean right now? You're doing it right now.
Don't you remember he called us all a bunch of retards? We're the retard crew.
Well, my overall point is not about Bev. It's about that we'll probably address ether more than anything else, because ether is heliocentrism and dielectric acceleration is heliocentrism under a different guise. And that's the thing. We're really against globe heliocentrism. Anything global or heliocentric. We're against that completely. So we will address those two issues the most. And because the people promoting them have the biggest voices on the internet in our arena. So we will address them, but we'll address Sabine Hossenfelder and whoever else.
Bruce.
Like more than that.
That's Bruce Sabine. Remember?
Bruce.
Yeah, because she came out. Oh, we'll be going over that again. Remember, she came out with the jean vest.
This Hossenfelder.
Yeah, Bruce Sabine Hossenpfeffer.
No, not Hassenpfeffer. Hossenfelder.
Hossenpfeffer, Betty.
Yeah, I know, but the difference between Hassen and Hossen is totally different.
But we're American. We can say what we want.
Yeah, you can say nothing.
Remember when we were talking about when I was speaking to retards? Brian, you remember when I said I talk to retards all the time?
Yeah.
What's happening now?
Yeah.
You better watch it. You better watch it, buddy.
Been a retard crew.
Yeah, he's not referring to you guys over here, Betty. One day I went into Nathan's show and they were just acting stupidly. So I said, "Where are you? A bunch of retards?"
When you say first, that doesn't apply to you, right?
Wait, but Betty,
Of course it doesn't. I'm not retarded.
He got a little upset.
Sorry.
Neil,
Through you.
Neil, we can't hear anything. You're roboting straight through Betty.
And I was rumpusing him with my laughter.
Yeah, you were.
I was. Sorry, Neil.
No, Betty was talking straight through me.
Yes, that's what she said. But you didn't hear her because you were roboting.
And talking through me.
I said that he said diffractive curvature, your IQ is locked.
Oh, there he goes again.
And we're above.
Thanks, Neil. You should drive. You know what you should do? Wait to drive more and then come on the show.
I think he picks up some static electricity along with his car, and it makes him robot.
Yeah. You know what? I was concerned with you guys picking up the slack because I haven't gotten that much sleep and I'm not, sharpest tool in the thread.
Yeah, you're not the sharpest tool. That's
See, I
no.
said
You
sharp.
said the sharpest tool in the thread.
Yeah. See what I mean?
In the shed, not in the thread, not never ever. On the
Yeah,
panel.
I caught that too. Exactly. I said I don't know how this is gonna go. I don't have any substance for today. I think my teammates.
You do it.
I think my teammates, will pick up the slack. And look, we're 46 minutes in. It's been nonstop.
Yeah. Well, it has to do with Adam. I mean, let's put the blame on Adam, because usually when he is here, there's much talk about flat Earth. Because that man can ramble on a topic. Huh?
I thought I was the one that was doing the monologues.
Yeah, on tornadoes, not on the flat Earth.
That wasn't a damn monologue. I was just telling a story.
Ranting as hell.
Just telling a story. You have to get the color behind it for it to make sense.
Story.
What do you want a story like in 2 sentences, Betty?
Sweetheart, a story and an epilogue, right? In 3 parts is totally different.
It's not. It's like charging somebody. Well, you're breathing.
Well, that too. You're breathing through your mic a lot.
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Yeah, that's appropriate.
Where did I steal that from? Anyone? Quick.
One of the movies.
Yes. Which one?
Dumb and Dumber.
Nope.
Was it a police officer?
Was it a what episode?
A police officer. Saying
No.
it. Oh. Then I'm out.
Anyone?
How many syllables?
Who?
How many syllables? It's turning into that game, isn't it?
Yeah. Who said you shut your mouth when you're talking to me? Not who said it, but what movie?
What was it? Full Metal Jacket?
Nope. Oh, come on, guys. The movie was freaking hilarious. It was a comedy. I'll give you that much.
So not Full Metal Jacket. Then.
Yeah, I don't think they classify that as comedies.
Was it a Jackie Chan movie?
No.
Was
Scarface.
Val Kilmer in it?
Just type it into Google and see what comes up. Tropic Thunder.
That's too much work.
Tropic Thunder from Nathan. Too funny. No, it's not Tropic Thunder.
Wasn't it Biff?
It wasn't Biff. I'll give everyone on the YouTube stream, I'll let them know. Ready?
Is it connected to Biff?
There it is, YouTubers. Now you know. These morons don't.
Be
Welcome to the
nice.
land of morons.
Be nice. That's another thing. Every time there's any even, it doesn't even have to be a nasty slight towards Betty. Flatsy comes flying in as her
Wedding crashers.
as her simp. Oh yeah, now you got it after I put it up on YouTube. Now back to the
I
point.
didn't look.
Now back to the point. Yeah, sure. Back to the point. Yeah, it is wedding.
Hang on a second.
It's Wedding Crashers.
But I've never seen that movie, so how could I know?
You've
what
never
that is?
seen
And how could I
Wedding?
be? How could I be a
God.
moron? How could I be a moron if I've never seen the movie?
Yeah,
so how could I know
exactly.
what the thing is?
Maybe
That
you're
logic is
moron
not
if
working
you
out.
watch.
Okay, sorry, you're not a moron. You're an ignoramus.
Yeah.
Well, he's a moron because he never seen it.
Unbelievable.
Hey, Brian, do yourself a favor, man. Catch Wedding Crashers, man. And let me know.
Okay.
Uh,
At some point.
So back to the point. Have you noticed any little backhanded slight, no matter if it's only light rudeness in Betty's general direction, Flatsy comes flying in as her savior.
I've been noticing that.
I need some shade.
I'm a mama, so when I hear you being rude, mean, or whatever, I'm gonna say, "Don't do that."
Or
That would be
harassment.
nothing wrong.
Or harassment.
Harassment. Yeah, stretch it a bit.
Just
Even.
plain harassment, man.
Just That's a great word, isn't it?
I like it.
It is a good word. I like it.
Today I found out that a colleague of mine has tattooed the word epiphany on her arm. So she showed me and I said, "Oh, that's a good word, right?" And I said, "Like a thing, like I get an epiphany." And she said, "You're the first one that got it."
That's not that good a word.
I know, but for her it was like a $10,000 word, right?
Acquiesce is a
Yep.
$10,000 word.
I don't think that she wants to have that tattooed on her arm.
Acquiesce. No, I don't think. No, should be a tramp.
I mean, that would give some legal things that could happen, right? So, but epiphany, I mean, nobody in Holland seems to know what that means.
Huh.
Except me. Yeah. I was the first one that she didn't have to explain it to.
All right. So, what else?
I like the word procrastination. I like that one.
Ah, that's one of your favorite. It's what you do.
It's such a beautiful word for something so, well, so bad, basically, right?
I got, yeah.
There's Neil.
I've been here 5 minutes procrastinating, listening to you guys.
Evening.
Good evening.
There he is.
Right on cue.
Now, see, that's dedication.
A nice word.
Unbelievable. How can he come in
I was-
right at that time?
Yeah. Go ahead, Adam.
Well, I was giving orders, Betty. That's why. I had to show the text to my wife. I said, I know it's the last day on holiday, but look what he's demanded. She said, it's all right. I've got to ring Archie and my sister. So go on. Off you go.
What message did you show her?
You be there, mister.
Does that sound like me, Betty?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't an impression.
Yeah, he gave me his routine. Well, I won't be there. Now, I didn't know it was a Skype message. I didn't know if that came before or after we had the discussion earlier today in voice chat. So I didn't know, and I said, I really don't care. You be there, mister.
I went out for tea early. So
What was for tea in Italy? What did you have?
we went down to there's a local little restaurant. €15. So what's that? $10, isn't it? 3 quarters and half a carafe of wine. So you pre-me, you got a choice of 4 different pasta dishes. I actually had risotto.
Nice.
Marie had nice ragu, and I'm not sure which pasta it was, but pasta. And then she had a bistecca maiale, pork chop or pork steak, and then I just had bruschetta. Just to finish.
I love bruschetta.
Oh, it's so good over here. The tomatoes, mate, over here, they're not like tomatoes in it. I don't know what they do to tomatoes in England. They don't taste like tomatoes in Italy.
Yeah.
Pomodoro. That's the first thing they did was change the name. No, that's the first thing they did was change the name. It's not a tomato, it's a pomodoro. And it tastes better for it.
I'll tell you what, Betty.
They absolutely do, Adam.
I'll tell you what, bruschetta. We went to this Speaking of which, we went to this when I flew up to my sister's place, and she's sort of well off, and she took the whole family out to this really fancy restaurant, right? And we're sitting there, and everyone's ordering the lamb chops and stuff. But I winked over at her. I said, "Look at what's up here," and it said bruschetta. I just leaned into her. I said, "Get about 5 orders of that and have them bring them out." And everyone, they were slobbering over themselves. So bruschetta, I have to give you props, Adam. That I didn't, say again.
It's bruschetta.
It ain't bruschetta.
It's bruschetta.
It's not.
Bruschetta.
It's actually bruschetta.
Bruschetta.
Yes. Bruschetta. Yeah, that's how you say it.
God's sake.
Like the way you say tortilla, that kind of thing.
So you're all telling the Italian guy how to say it.
Yes.
It's bruschetta.
Say it, Neil.
Say it, Neil.
Yeah.
Bruschetta.
Bruschetta, I told you.
You
Italians are wrong.
There's no way you could speak with an Italian accent. Sorry, you just can't.
And my wife makes it. You just gotta go to restaurants. I just go home.
Nice.
Go
Shut
home,
up, Betty.
Yeah, it is really good though.
Unbelievable.
Tonight's choice was a pomodoro e salmone, and I always go pomodoro.
But
But I should have gone.
entourage instead of a main course thing.
Yeah, like see, QE reminded me of my mum there. My mum, when we'd come out, bless her, we'd come out and she'd be the same. Oh, I love bruschetta, right? But I'm not having that as a bleeding starter or a premium PA. Yeah, not having it. We'll have a look. And so for her, what she'd do is go, let's order a load for the table, which meant I want some, and then if I can have it, then I can fob it off an excuse. I'm being kind. Then go into it. But yeah, I would just say, it's bruschetta here, but like this is the funny thing, Brian, that like where I am in Italy, they take the mick out of the Abruzzo accent because it's a bit like talking to like somebody from Norfolk with an English. I talk like that, I does. I've got a right country accent, I has, with my Italian. Yeah. So the Italian accent over here is so I've learnt it on online and stuff. But you listen to it, and none of they do sound like farmers from Norfolk. You know what I mean? It's like a very strange Italian accent this side of the country. Yokels.
What part of Italy are you in?
Wine.
No, it's not the wine. My ears still work with wine.
What makes you talk?
I just sound common wherever I am. Nottingham, Italy, it doesn't matter. We're in Abruzzo, which is so Rome's like everyone knows where Rome is, and that's in the county of Lazio, province of Lazio, and then that's you what, Betty?
Rome is somewhere in America.
There's a couple of Romes in America, isn't there? Yeah.
Absolutely. Go on.
On the other coast, so that's on the Mediterranean coast. I'm literally on the opposite side of the country, on the opposite coast, so on the Adriatic side.
That's where you
Is it
took.
sunny?
That's where he took pictures of Croatia last year. Right?
Yep.
I've got land in the distance. Yeah, I've got land in the distance from the Maiella mountains, which you can find on this. If you look middle of it, there's a mountain range. So we go up because we're literally half an hour from the coast and half an hour to the mountains it's where Michael Schumacher used to like going skiing because it was private. It's all pictures of Michael Schumacher up there in the hills. So you go up there and like literally in the middle of summer, it can be 40 degrees here, and you go up there and it goes down to 20 degrees. It's like aircon, God's aircon. Just drive up the mountain. But from there, and summer's no good because there's too much singing, but we went up there one Easter when there was still loads of snow up there, and I've got these shots, and I don't know what I'm seeing because it's just a blur, but I can see peaks and the juts above the horizon. Now, when I've plotted it out. The only thing I can say is it's Croatia. When I've asked locals, they say no, it's a little bit further north of that, pointing to a different place. But I'm sure I've got land. I mean, it's very high up, like 7,000 foot or something. But I don't know. It needs further. I wait to come in. I want to come in the winter and do that again with the old P900 because I took those pictures years ago when I first bought the P900 and was like trigger happy with it. But yeah, definitely, I've seen something so far away it shouldn't be there if you live on a ball.
Huh.
Which was the feeling you got back then. These are these are discovery days. So you're looking, what the hell is that? The hell is that? You know what I mean? And
no, I don't know what you mean. Speaking of discovery days, so you're by the beach? Is there beaches near you?
yeah. So there's the full
so I'm not done
Adriatic
yet. My
coast.
question wasn't over yet.
Well, you ended it with infliction. So
Shut up, Betty. So these beaches are in Europe, right? It's been my experience with beaches in Europe. There's a whole bunch of naked ladies running around.
no, it's not the south of France. There's very tight thongs. There's very skimpy stuff. But I was brought up, right, watching Italian stripping housewives and stuff, thinking that it would be very like that, topless. But there's not. No, I've not seen any toplessness here ever.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking pure birthday suits.
Oh no, you got to go to Tenerife for that, like nudie beaches. They might have the odd one, but
Now,
no one's to. No one. Why would you? Why do you need your todger out if you've got a pair of tangos on? There's so little fabric there. It can't make a difference, surely.
I'll tell you what. In Germany, it was everywhere. Of course, there's not. When we're talking beaches, we're not. It's inland, but they have lakes and stuff, right? Yeah. So I don't know if they still do that, but when I was there,
Since the telephones and the pictures can be taken by perverts, most people don't do that anymore.
well, we weren't taking pictures, Betty.
I know. You were gawking at
I
them.
tell you what, Betty. If you want a picture of me naked, you are a pervert. I'll tell you that.
What
Well, there's
is going
these
on?
predators, these men that are on the lure on these beaches just to see those things.
Now that's a $10,000 word.
Things?
Predator.
Predator. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that word.
Are you saying
Brenda.
Betty is a predator?
I'm not doing it.
I'm sorry, Betty.
There's nothing to look at for me. I mean, everything is covered up. You guys have like these pants on like no tomorrow, right?
Well,
You know, casual conversation with people, it's always about the weather, food, and if you have a bunch of men, they're going to talk about naked people.
Yes.
naked people.
Women.
I'm just stating the fact, Flatsy. I mean, it shocked me. I wasn't ready for it. I did re-enlist.
Yeah, because you guys are prudes in America.
I did re-enlist for Berlin twice.
Yeah, of course you did.
Why is that, Kiwi? I missed the part.
I have no idea why I did that.
You wanted to have double D on the beach.
Are they liberal in Germany?
Listen, I can
Very
only,
liberal in Germany.
I can only tell you what I saw.
Well,
Yeah.
I've been to the beaches in America, in California, and yes, lots of girls, bikinis, and all the rest of it. But nothing is as liberal as Australia. No way.
Really?
I've been to other places. Australia, you wouldn't believe it in the summertime. The women are wearing literally as little as possible. They're only covering exactly what they have to cover. And even at that, it's often not covered.
Yeah, but as flat earthers, we know Australia doesn't exist.
Well, wherever it was, I was. That's a good place to go.
There's a phrase
I
out
mean
there.
it.
There's a phrase
Adam?
from the Australians. There's a phrase from the Australians that shows you how liberal they are. Do you fancy a root?
Well, maybe Brazil would match him. I don't know but I would say Americans would be shocked when they go to Australian beaches. I'd say they would be shocked. The Americans probably think they're liberal. Go to Australia, as in liberal in that way. Go to Australia. It's like they don't care. Now, I'm not saying men are going around naked. Right? Don't get me that way. But the women are going around basically naked on the beach.
See, I was told to cover up. Yeah, when I came to Italy, traditionally as a Brit,
no, you were warned.
I was threatened by my wife and children. Yeah, that is correct. Fundamentally, that's correct. I was warned. Yeah, but I went Italian, so I went. So I've got me Reeboks, swimming shorts on. I've got a lining in that you used to wearing everywhere, and I'm looking around. All the Italians have got these tight speedos on. I'm thinking, why are they doing? I went up to the beach hut, bought a pair of these, put them on. I mean, they are like smaller than any underpants I've ever owned, and put them on. And my wife and children were horrified. I had great pleasure wearing them for the rest of the day.
Oh man, that's like my husband. He's the same way. Oh man, that's hilarious.
What? He wears Speedos?
Well, no, he doesn't wear Speedos, but he has these thigh huggers, and he loves wearing those out in public around me.
Oh, brother.
Speedos, that was what I think back in the 80s and 90s, I think. And later on...
You go Google yourself some thigh huggers, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Google yourself some. What about Betty's?
That's what the brother-in-law bought.
I think that guys are more prudes than girls.
What? Let's get off of that, Mrs. Feminist. What about up in Greece?
She deserved that.
Yes, she does.
You guys are cracking me up.
Unbelievable.
What about in Greece?
Talk about naked girls.
In Greece, I got something for Greece. Every restaurant you go to, they only have parking in the rear.
Oh, brother.
Ew.
Hey, Betty, I was trying to ask you. You've been to Greece many times. What have you peep showed in Greece?
I personally?
Yeah, because I know you've been to Greece and some Greek islands before.
I wear bikinis.
Not you yourself.
Did you said that?
Now, what have you seen? Not what you're wearing.
Well, let me say that this way. When I was there in the 90s, I saw people being topless. No naked guys, by the way. But I didn't go to the naked beaches, whatever, right? But later on, it went away because of the fact that people can be photographed and people don't like that. Yeah, you can't lay there anonymous anymore. These people that want to photograph you and put you on the internet.
Interesting.
Bulgarian girls don't care about that stuff. Our women just go topless in our beaches. They don't give a fuck.
Hey, no swearing.
Unless they
Okay,
are.
sorry.
We're talking about naked girls. No swearing here.
Is tits being allowed?
That's the trouble with topless beaches. As a man, it's very eventually become immune. The first couple of pairs you see, your eyes are all over it, and then eventually you become numb, and that's not right. No man should be numb to that view.
Yeah, you do. You do.
That's what I mean. But there's something that's not right. There's something much sexy about not being able to see a nipple than seeing a nipple.
Thanks.
Frankly.
Thanks, Adam.
Well,
it's
I have
true.
to say that because I live close to the beach in Australia, and I'm talking about like you could be talking like 150 meters away, right, from the beach, more or less. When I got so used to going to the beach, and like the problem is you have to get disciplined because you can't go down and just be staring everywhere. You have to get disciplined at the start, right? This is normality, so you can't be going around staring around the beach.
But you can't go down there with a set of
You can't know what you're seeing.
Wait a second.
Yeah,
Wait a
but
second.
walking around on those beaches.
What are you saying? That I couldn't go to Australia, head down to the beach with a pair of friggin' binos?
You can if you want, but you won't need them because they'll be literally right in front of you. You won't need binoculars. Like you won't need it. There won't be any distance between you and it. But that way.
Brian, you can say that you're a flat earther and looking at the horizon.
Listen to this, guys. Nathan in the chat said, "I'm very respectful of others. I wear a hijab when swimming."
A burkini, they call it. They have these.
I heard Nathan goes topless at the beach.
That will be a scare. It might be a reflection shield.
Reflection shield. Why don't you just put up your Dunning-Kruger shield?
Does he have one?
Your Dunning-Kruger reflector shields.
Refraction shield.
Refraction shield.
I remember, Bretty's mentioned Greece. The Greeks are very different. They will quite happily ogle, right? Where were we? Alacanez. We're on the beach, and Marie's laying out there, and I'll just turn around and hear them, my sister and Marie going, "Oh my God, can you believe that?" So they've both been laid there sunbathing, bikinis on, and this Greek guy's walked past, big, fat, huge beer belly, sunglasses, nothing else on. He's walked past, he's stopped, lifted his sunglasses on. Very nice. Then just carried on walking. That's Marie's just heard me say that. What did he have on? There you go. I told you, budgie smugglers in a pair of sunglasses. Very nice.
Budgie smuggler.
Adam, that's a compliment.
They're not for a while.
They don't usually say anything.
I took it as so. You know.
Too funny.
Yeah.
I just found that very out. Like, you wouldn't do that as a Brit. You certainly wouldn't have wandered along the beach and then gone to some attractive. Hey, cracking pair, love. You know, it's just not very British. I found it very Greek.
You just sent Brian off the deep end with that one. Cracking.
Because I know it the scenario is put forward. It's just no one's doing that.
Isn't that a sort of a stereotype fallacy to say that nobody does that? Well, we might have many of these people doing that. Walking around the beaches and goggling.
I think there's consequences, I would say, to that. Someone's going to have a word with you.
What's the worst I can say to him? No, that's the point, right? He's not. What can I say to him? No, she's not very nice. What can you say to that? It's just a different culture that you could say, wow. Whereas Britain, you'd be perceived. There was nothing. He just paid a compliment and carried on. There was nothing.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Cracking pear. I got to remember that.
Oh my God.
Nathan says
So
we
on
see.
to-
Hey, Nathan says we see too much.
I was thinking about saying, on to Sabine Hassenpfeffer.
Hassan, now you got it.
Yeah, I got it. But something different than the O in Hassenfelder and Hassenpfeffer, right?
He's a pure numpty, man.
Who is? Nathan?
Sabine.
He. Did you say he?
I said Sabine. Hassenpfeffer.
That's a German name.
She's really. I don't. It's like cringe.
Yep.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that she actually has education in some ways, the way that she does.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
No, it's heartwarming to know she has an education to a degree standard and above it, doctorate standard of physics, right? And her rebuttal video was as such. That is heartwarming for me to hear. That somebody who has a degree in the topics that apparently we're too stupid to have to go and re-educate ourselves on couldn't present any information from those topics to rebut flat Earth other than You obviously just don't know this stuff. That I find stuff like that very strengthening towards, yeah. If you're ever unsure about knowing stuff, listen to what those that profess will use as rebuttal. That's very telling.
What?
Yes, Adam. Yes,
Her
I agree.
polls. And what did she do? Remember her first flat Earth? I think I got it. Where is it? Her first flat Earth video. It was a couple years ago, and she was soothing the ballers.
She brought out two. She brought out one, and that was like a curiosity kind of video, kind of not really anything to worry about attitude. Then she brought out a second one, and she called it Flat Earth Science. Wrong, but not stupid. Right?
Well, she said that baltards, they could be confident. She said, don't be ashamed, baltards, more or less. I'm paraphrasing. Don't be ashamed if you don't know the arguments. It's okay. Remember, we've got laptops, airplanes, and eyeglasses demonstrating that science and society work.
Yep.
So and we'll play that. We're going to hear that again, by the way, because I'm going to play that over again on the next treatment. But it's more or less like everything is okay, baltards, because one of your pseudoscience priests, Sabine Hassenpfeffer, theoretical physicist, says that even though you and all your spinning space monkey arguments get a mud hole stomped in them, then bitch slapped, that there is no shame in you not knowing the arguments. You can justly hand-wave dismiss flat earthers and their arguments because we have laptops, airplanes, and eyeglasses.
Those are non sequiturs, and they're pragmatic fallacies.
Listen,
right there, just bundled up together.
Wow, Flatty.
Well done, Flatty.
It was so cringe and so absolutely feebly pathetic. I was shocked that she said it. We're going to hear it again come to treatment. I'm pulling Bruce Sabine up again. You can't, just in case you forgot. It's pretty freaking funny, man.
This last video, or last one from a few days ago, that is panic setting in. That's how I see it, as panic setting in pseudoscience. Because even Danny Faulkner, only a couple of days beforehand, brought out a video titled, "This Movement is Growing." That means there's a panic setting in. Now, there's only so many straw man arguments you can make up and put into videos against flat Earth. There's only so much you can do of that. If flat Earth is growing and you're doing that, eventually people are going to come across flat earthers who aren't making these straw man arguments. Eventually. Now, they might be making some numpty arguments, but they won't be as bad as they need, as, let's say, Faulkner or Sabine Hasselfelder would need them to be. So it's only a matter of time.
Rockefeller.
It's panic, pure panic on their part. Like, she is panicking. This is like stressed panic, translating itself as some kind of globe rage.
It's globe rage. Globe rage.
How long is her video?
8 minutes.
Oh, so it's going to take about an hour to cover 8 minutes, right? Huey.
Multiply that by that's sort of a formula.
Exactly.
I think Huey's having an orange again or something, or banana.
The last treatment that QE did on her was Christmas
on her?
Eve. On her, sorry, my accent. You can't be picking on people with accents, Betty. The last treatment QE did on her was on Christmas Eve 2022, and I was trying to cut my hair. I cut my own hair. I was trying to cut my hair at the time, and I couldn't get through the haircut. I was laughing so much. It was the best treatment I ever heard because it was the funniest.
Which one was that?
The one you did on Christmas Eve 2022. On
he is eating. You called it.
Did somebody? I figured Brian started talking. I was safe to go get some chow and come back.
There you go. What is it? Orange, a banana?
I got kiwis and strawberries.
See? Oh,
Betty attacked me on my accent.
Did she?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hers sounded like another word.
That's like Pol Pot attacking the Dalai Lama for being a genocidal maniac.
Yeah, but this is not my language.
Okay, back to which one which one was good that you liked?
The one that you did on Christmas Eve 2022.
Christmas Eve.
It's the last one you did on Sabine Hossenfelder. That's the last treatment you did on her, and it was hilarious. You literally could just put that out again. I would say repost that just prior to doing the treatment, because it was hilarious. Well, if you repost that and then do the treatment in the same week, I mean, it's going to be epic. Also, I won't have to look for it if you repost it.
How did you know that was on Christmas Eve then? I mean,
because I remembered it.
yeah, but then you can easily find it back, right? I mean,
I could do, I'm being sarcastic when I'm saying I won't have to look for it. But I'm just saying, if he did repost it, it would get a lot, like, especially now with her coming out with such nonsense. And then he does the treatment of her more recent video. I mean, I couldn't. I was trying to cut me hair, and I couldn't cut me hair. It should normally take me a certain length of time. It took me 3 times the length of time, I think, or something. I could not cut me hair. I was laughing so much. And then when the treatment was over, I was laughing at things I remember.
You didn't have any hair left.
Yeah.
Well, heck, let's go ahead and play it. Hold on. I'll go search it out.
Oh my God, he has his mouth full. So
He's just talking with his mouth full.
Sorry about that. Forgive me. I find it coarse and vulgar.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, but there's just a validation there. Look, you see how Flatsy reacted. She is just a mama. Don't talk with your mouth full.
It's so true. I am a mama. That's a true statement.
Yep.
What would I have called it?
I just know it was the last. Sorry, Betty.
No, I just said the one.
It's got to be pass me the Hossenpfeffer, surely.
Oh, it says QE. Yes. It says QE live the treatment. Cook, bring me my Hossenpfeffer.
There you go. It had to be. This is why it's more desperate. The last one had a level of appreciation of the argumentation that was being made against her. She was not necessarily prepared to fully deal with it, but there was a point of recognition in there, as in, she doesn't agree with it, but they might have some science. Yeah. This one, it was just ad hom and fallacy. It was, as Brian said, it was very telling, very desperate, because to attackers, there was not one point she was prepared to address.
All right, let's skip a bunch of it. I don't even remember this. It's too funny.
So
All
she's coming back to a video. Is this a video that was recent that you wanted to do treatment for, or?
Yeah, she did a new one, but I had already did a.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, this was the old one. This is the older one. So
she thought it was necessary to do another video.
Yeah, because like the guy said, they're getting desperate. All right, hold on. Let me go ahead and share it. It's a long video. We'll get through some of it. Let's see what Brian's. I can't even. Like I said, I remember the part where she was talking about salving the ballers' tears because they can't answer flat earthers' arguments. That was what I remember from it. All right, share screen. QE live to treatment. Go live. All right, you guys are squared up.
Are we?
Now let's go ahead a little bit and see where. All right, let's see.
Oh yeah, this is Christmas.
I'll have to listen to some of this on YouTube. I'll have to pop out for a minute, but for a small while, but I'll be back in.
All right.
Sorry, Betty, you're asking me.
Yeah, you were right, spot on with the Christmas thing.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. I did.
Yeah,
have
but
to
it's
think
easy
on
to
it.
remember. Yeah. It's easy to remember because it's a particular day. You know what I mean? You remember what happened on that day, you know?
It's the day your haircut took 3 times as long as normal.
Yeah, but you're going to remember that, like, it's Christmas Eve and I did a lot of laughing. You know, it was easy to remember.
All right, here we go. We ready?
Yep.
All right, all right. I guess I can get going. All right, what do we got? Cook! What do we got? Bring me my Hassenpfeffer.
Did you say Hassenpfeffer? Yes, Hassenpfeffer.
That's right. You know where Hassenpfeffer is? Right there. Yeah. Sabina Hassenpfeffer. And what's going on? What the hell is this? What do you think? You're Bruce Springsteen? You that delusional? That's rhetorical, by the way. You are. Yeah, so we'll just call you Sabina Bruce. You pumpkin pie haircut and freak. Cut your hair. Carl Sagan?
I, as many people in science communication.
As many people in science communication. What the hell is that supposed to mean?
That's just
Number
sexy
one,
German
looks like we got
accent.
another Mick West situation here. You got that Brian's right. That shit's cracking me up already.
Yeah, but it's confusing when you're talking on video and when you're talking in real life.
Yeah, he's like laughing at himself. Like, how ridiculous can you be?
You talked about cutting hair as well on the video. That's really
Righteous, can you ban Flatsy?
If you played your song as well as all this, that would really top it off.
No, it's just the same thing. You beat me to it.
What did you say?
Okay, remove the pillow, then tell us. Thanks, Neil. You got a science communicator, I guess. And the way she said that was kind of kooky. Right? That sounded very strange to me. Let's go back. Like
QA.
she should enunciate
Real
the
QA,
punctuation.
not the other QA. That's a phrase they used back then as a title of merit that they'd given themselves that has now been, thanks to Bill Nye, demonstrated that what it means is you're not an actual scientist, you're somebody that basically presents the ball rhetoric under the guise of science communicator. There's only a few people that use it. Bill Nye, Neil deGrasse, yeah? Which is, it's almost like a subconscious disclaimer. I'm not here to describe science to you. I'm a science communicator. And what that means is I'm going to espouse the ball rhetoric is what a science communicator means.
Wasn't Mick West the science communicator too?
He's another one. There you go. Yeah. So people that aren't really scientists doing science, but come on to media and support the ball with pseudoscience. That's a science communicator.
Oh, thanks, Adam.
That's okay.
Or something? Let's see.
I, as many people.
She's reading it. She's reading it off a teleprompter. Look at her eyes. So she's reading this horse shit. I hope. I know some numpty wrote this. I hope it's not you. Sorry, folks. Let's go back. Sorry, I'm cracking myself up, folks. Hey, get on there and get back. I'm still cracking myself up with it. This is hilarious.
No kidding.
Shut up, Platsy. Aren't you banned yet? Told you. All right, here we go.
I, as many people in science communication, am fascinated with flat earthers.
Uh-oh, right into the stereotype fallacy. Right? You know, I told you what follows.
Listen to that mitigation there. I, like many other science communicator, are fascinated with flat earthers. I, like lots of other people that are paid to support the ball rhetoric, are confused with flat earthers. When you listen to the language, it's a statement of admission.
Thanks, Adam.
Confused
Stereotype
meaning,
fallacies,
confused meaning, I don't know how to deal with. Listen to the, it's very soft rhetoric, but it has an underlying meaning.
Sure. Right? Straw man and baseless assertion. One or both. And this is by far her favorite fallacy in this 16 minutes. Belly laugher, that's for sure. And I'm not getting this this punctuation and stuff in here. She should have, this is all jacked up.
Here you have a group of people steadfastly
Here you have a group of people, okay, get ready. This is greasing the skids. This is your stereotype fallacy, right? So what are you looking for? Straw man or a baseless assertion fallacy or both? It's coming.
rejecting evidence that's right in their face.
So I'm a flat earther. I'm rejecting evidence that's right in my face. Really? So are you going to show that evidence that I'm rejecting? Perhaps? Maybe?
Today I want to tell you why I
Doesn't sound like so. She just bypasses it right on to the next paragraph. Look at her reading. Look at her reading over here. Yeah, we're on to you, Bruce.
nevertheless think flat earthers are neither stupid nor anti-scientific.
What? Nevertheless? Is that another? Did you enunciate those punctuation marks? And what the hell? Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a pretender clown numpty dipshit that did it to herself, just bashing herself in the face with a spade shovel. Flat Earth science. This is a dumb fuck category error, right? Telling us that she has no clue on what natural science is. None. None. Right? This is Bloody Mary tennis. A married bachelor, achromatic rainbow. These words, these two phrases right here, if you split them up, don't go together. Simple
The
as
only
that.
mitigation
She's clueless.
The only mitigation I could give there is the use of the word science in the historical context of knowledge, so flat earth knowledge. But then you can't strawman attack it if it's just flat earth knowledge. She's going to attack it that it's not science by demonstrating that she doesn't know what science is by that statement.
Yep.
It is like hanging by your own words, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, she's bothered to type those words, so they're her statement, demonstrating fundamentally that she doesn't know what science is.
most of them anyway.
So now she's talking about most of them anyway. So a subgroup of a large group of complete strangers. She's going to give you her take on that. Now, how does she know this? Yeah, I don't know. Is she some type of witch or something? I mean, where's the bat piss and the frog legs and the rooster feathers? You know, your witch's brew on how you came up with this horse shit? Fallacy carpet bomb barrage? You're
Okay,
a
that's
clown.
pretty funny.
This is... I'm sorry. I'm laughing at my own damn self. This tells the story right here, folks. She has no clue what natural science is. There is no sphere or science either, there, love. Let's go down here. She has it right in her title, just announcing it to everyone that she's a clueless clown. Dunning-Kruger type, one each. And, folks, by the way, this Sabina Bruce is a theoretical physicist. So that's an oxymoron wrapped in a paradox. So she's right on point, though. I mean, everything's lining up with that. But she actually thinks people are taking her seriously. Can you believe it?
I also want to
I know I'm
explain why you should
responding to
not be
QA, but I just wanted to highlight a point. This is her claim, her statement of who she is. She's a theoretical physicist. Is that science? I'm asking you, QA.
No.
No. Just point worth making to her.
Thanks, Adam.
You come to QE's show so that you can review the review of the review.
Yeah, I liked your doors. the other day when you put the doors in there.
Yeah.
That was really funny.
I thought you'd like that.
Yeah, it was good.
If you can't remember how
Ah! You should not be embarrassed. Don't worry. Oh, poor baby Baltods. Sabina Bruce says it's okay that you don't know your ass from a pipe wrench and been drug around by your short hairs and shown every corner of the room for the past 7 years. It's okay. She's going to salve your soul by rubbing your feet and bringing you hot chocolate. Unbelievable, you clown.
we know that the Earth is round.
You know that the Earth is round. Round and flat aren't mutually exclusive there, clown show. Yoo-hoo! CDs! Get it? So I don't know where you're getting this round shit from.
But first I have to tell you what flat earthers actually believe.
Oh, now she's going to tell us what a large group of complete strangers believe. She's a theoretical physicist. This is her expertise. Like I said, where's the bat piss? And the rooster feathers. Frog's legs. Get that brew a-circulating so you can divine whole groups of people's thoughts that you don't know. I mean, what is this? Some type of friggin' carnival show? What it sounds like to me. You sound ridiculous. This is a fallacy, love. That meaning that everything after this downstream from that fallacy is fallacious, i.e., that means it's void. Everything downstream from it. Do you follow that sort of logic? You don't. You're a clown. Look at you. You're a retard.
And how they got there.
How they got there. Uh-oh.
Popular flat Earth model is that
Oh, God. She thinks this is a flat Earth model. I don't know, folks. This little cartoon's a flat Earth model. I'd never seen this before in my life. Conceptually, I never thought of this anywhere close to this cartoon. So, like I said, stereotype fallacies. You get what?
That's not a Mercator model. That's not a Mercator model. So that's not an azimuthal equidistant projection from a globe, which is what we're straw man to believe. If you look at the position of Africa and South America, that's somebody else's made up imagination. A bit like what Antonio Subirats used to do. Reposition stuff and re-engineer another projection, which was similar to the azimuthal projection of a globe, but not quite. That's what's being held up here. This is what, 2018 sort of standards where there were flat earthers going around there trying to draw maps based on the globe information they've been given and reformulating. That's what you've got there.
You're going to seriously evaluate the precision of this belly laugher? Seriously.
Mm. You know, yeah, because the position of Africa, South America, and like certain other things on maps are very interesting. You can see by the relative positions of things.
Thanks.
Whether they're old school, whether they're globe or not, if you look at them.
I was being facetious, by the way.
No, I wasn't. I was being geeky.
Yeah, I know. And baseless assertions, guess what this one is? I'll give you 5 minutes.
of a disk where the North Pole is in the middle and the South Pole is an ice wall on the edge.
South Pole's an ice wall. But you got an arrow pointing right here. Well, ice wall looks like it goes all the way around here. I think you have to define pole.
Edge of the disk. But not all flat earthers sign up to this.
Now we're going to...
Okay, so her claim that we've made the ice wall, which we don't claim, the South Pole, is a consequent of the ball claim. We don't claim a South Pole. Okay, we have a North Pole, a magnetic north, and even on a ball, despite the baller's best efforts, they have to admit that magnets point north. No magnets point south. There isn't a South Pole. That's just a globe fantasy. So you might like to misnomer it and point the South Pole at some extreme edge of a circle. But we don't invoke a South Pole, and nobody uses a South Pole. There's only the North Pole, which is confusing if you live on a ball. But if you understand the way things work, there is just one geomagnetic center that compasses point to.
We're going to break down our stereotype fallacy into the smaller group of the larger group and divine their thoughts too. What do they do?
An alternative is the so-called bipolar model, where both
Bipolar model? I never heard no shit like this before. And I'm a seasoned flat
bipolar,
earther.
huh?
This is some... Go ahead, Betty.
She's talking about bipolar?
She needs lithium, Betty. Lithium. That's what they've got to give her.
Where do we find that? In the North Pole?
Don't know yet. I forgot all about this. Let's see where it goes. I don't even know what I'm going to say. Horseshit. Where'd you get this from? Wiki or something? I don't think you've been keeping up to date with the flat earth debate there, love.
poles are on the disk, surrounded by water that's held by a rim of something, maybe ice.
A rim of... like I said, people, if you know where this came... I'd never seen no shit like this before in my life.
The rocks. And a minority of flat earthers...
Uh-oh, another subgroup. So we not only got a false dichotomy, she's going to shift over to a false trichotomy. Try to fool us. Oh, boy. What the hell is this? Oh, I'm sorry. It has infinite plane down here. Sorry, I didn't see it because all my junk is in here. So infinite plane. The infinity doesn't exist in mathematics or reality. So what the hell are you talking about? Whoever's thinking this infinite, they're infinite stupidity. Much like you. Like I said, rolling down from all the... Say again?
Does that exist? Infinite stupidity.
Weisenheimer. That's an infinite regress fallacy. Fallacies, there's been a bunch so far.
This is a ball picture.
Yes.
Look at that one. That's an azimuthal equidistant projection from the equator. I don't know what she's trying to strawman us with, but we're smart enough to see what you're putting. That's not an infinite plane. That's an azimuthal projection of a globe taken from the equator.
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 There's 1, 2, 3.
Equator.
We got it, Adam.
Equator.
Equator.
He's making sure Betty got it. Yeah, equator.
Equator.
Equator. Spell that. Written them down, just trying to scare them up from memory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so far. Right around that vicinity. You got false trichotomy. You got stereotype fallacies. You got straw man, baseless assertions. You got some divination skills going on. I don't know.
Believe that Earth is really an infinite plane.
I don't believe shit. I either know it or I don't. And I know that the Earth is flat, non-spinning, and contained. I know it for an absolute fact and can prove it demonstrably. I've been doing it for about 7 years.
They mostly agree, though, that...
They mostly agree. Here's the stereotype fallacy. Get ready. What's coming?
Gravity does not exist.
They agree that gravity doesn't... What the hell is gravity? Sunshine? Can you tell us that? Hey, stay over there. You're not supposed to pop up there. What the hell is gravity, for number one? And how do you know what we agree or disagree with? How'd you do that with the bat piss again? Can you show that method?
And that the observations we normally attribute to gravity come instead from the upward acceleration of the flat Earth.
What the hell is she talking about? Is this some flat Earth society bullshit? Love, I don't think that. You either talking about the flat Earth society or Einstein. Because those are the two principles that follow that horse.
This is really weird, having to talk to QE in the past. So QE in the past, that's exactly what I was going to say. The only thing you can do there for your reality is, no, you're invoking Einstein because that's what he claims. Then you want to strawman that onto flat earthers or adopt the bullshit from the Flat Earth Society's adoption of Einstein's things to try and make things work within Einstein's equations of a flat earth. No, we don't need that, Doc. We don't claim it. you'd like to strawman that against us. But fundamentally, in all of your theoretical physics in which you hold your doctorate, that's what you postulate mathematically, that the Earth is accelerating upwards.
She
Not
doesn't
my
even,
claim, yours.
yeah, she doesn't even know it. That's how dumb she is. Look how dumb she is. Look at her. Sabina Bruce. I'm a flat earther. That's not what I say. I've never said that. I never even thought of it. So what the hell are you talking about? See, that's where you get into trouble with these stereotype fallacies. And her reading off these prompters are starting to irritate me.
As a consequence,
The
the apparent
reality is,
gravitational acceleration.
the reality is, though, that last statement gives her prophetic powers of predicting Dow.
Ah, yeah. See, yeah. I like what you did there, Adam. Trouble with these stereotype fallacies. And her reading off these prompters are starting to irritate me.
As a consequence, the apparent gravitational acceleration is
apparent gravitational acceleration. There is no acceleration in Einsteinian gravity there, love. She's not even parroting the correct pseudoscience. Let's take a listen.
In general relativity, there is no mystery. All objects appear to fall the same way because, well, they're not accelerating.
Duh! There is no gravitational acceleration in general relativity there, bonehead. Bruce. What the hell? I don't know. She's just making shit up. Or somebody that put all the text in her teleprompters on lewds.
the same everywhere on Earth.
I'm sorry. Or they're on lewds.
I explained some weeks ago that this is...
You didn't explain shit. Right from the first get-go, you didn't explain anything. You think there's gravitational acceleration. That's not part of Einstein. You want me to play that shit again? So whatever you explained is doofus.
It's in conflict with evidence. We know...
What evidence? What evidence you got? Let's start with which gravity are you talking about, number one. Number two, then we're going to need scientific evidence. That's going to be a bridge too far for you, though, because we've already demonstrated, well, you've demonstrated, that you wouldn't know what natural science was if it climbed up your arse and started kicking footballs wrapped in concertina wire. So that you're going to have some issues with that. You're going to have to phone a friend to get them in here to give us scientific evidence. There, Bruce.
Know that the gravitational acceleration is most...
Here she's back with the gravitational acceleration. You're just a numpty dipshit.
Definitely not the same everywhere on Earth. The idea that gravity...
Idiot straw man.
...is due to upward acceleration.
Yeah, that's Einstein. Now you got Einstein right. Upwards acceleration. Yeah, and the Flat Earth Society. They're bedfellows.
Also causes other problems.
So you also causes, so your straw man is going to also cause other problems for us. I'm sure they are.
For example, you have to assume that the moon and the sun...
What the hell is this? Another cartoon, huh? Do you think I follow this shit? Is that what you think this is? You think I follow this? How do you know that? That's what I say. You get into trouble with the stereotype fallacies. This is some bullshit right here. So everything she says from this point on, because it's a straw man fallacy brought on by the gateway fallacy, you know which one, stereotype, this is an absolute train wreck. This is a carpet bomb barrage of logical fallacies.
Bruce. Along with the flat Earth, so we don't just run into
I've got to object.
That's an ad hoc assumption.
I've got to object to the straw man. The sun and moon were different sizes there. Now, if they're equidistant from it, they need to at least be portrayed as the same size, because that's how we see them. Now, their excuse is they're not the same size. One is 93 million miles away, one's 250,000 miles away, and one's 800 times bigger, right? But if you're going to straw man us, don't make the moon and sun bigger when they're circling a flat plane, Sabine. At least be genuine in your straw man.
So you got ad hoc assumptions inside the fairy tale you just made up. Well, that's lovely, Sabina Bruce. What else you got?
This favors the flat Earth hypothesis against
flat
models.
Earth. Whoa. Flat Earth hypothesis? What the hell is that? That's like Stromboli tennis. It's a category error. Like I said, she's exposing herself again as a numpty dipshit pseudoscientist. Do they have Strombolis in Italy?
I think that's probably where it came from.
Yeah.
Strombo, as in rolled bread with loads of meat and cheese and
yes.
I love Stromboli.
So do I.
Stromboli.
It's a category error. It's a married bachelor. There's no such thing exists. What's the flat Earth hypothesis? That goes for sphere Earth hypothesis also. It's flat and sphere. Those are what is inquiries. Natural science only adjudicates. That's the scientific method. Only adjudicates how, why, natural cause and effect relationships. You're in a complete category error. Just off the cuff, you're a numpty bullshitter. That's it. You're finished. You're exposed. I could stop right here. Well, I could have stopped back here when you put the title up here, Flat Earth Science, but where's the fun in that? But you're a clown, stone cold.
Where the orbits of the moon and the sun can be calculated from the gravitational law.
Gravitational law? What the hell is that? Are you talking about the universal law of gravitation that was debunked 107 years ago by Einstein? Is that the one you're talking about? So everything before that, the former that you brought up about calculating, is horseshit. Who cares? How can you calculate something and figure out what you're walking? How can you calculate celestial bodies' movements and then from that deduce what you're walking on? Non sequitur fuckwittery, love. No swearing. Are you doing lewds too? You're doing something. Or that idiot on that teleprompter's putting in some horseshit for you. So I'll tell you what, Baltards, you better get the hook. Get her ass off of here before I go any further. Because it's damaging enough right now. I mean, she's a cuck.
But that's not the only problem. You also have to get the moon and the sun to somehow circle around over the disk.
Only problem? No, we don't have a problem. It's over the disk. I don't have to do anything. It's doing that all by itself. Well, why do I have to do anything? That's what it does. You have to prove your sphere tard, Baltard, first. You follow that sort of train of thought there.
To explain day and night and the phases.
To explain day and night. Okay, well, the sun goes far away, and my son's laughing. He can hear me talking like that. But the sun goes far away, and it gets darky. Now, when the sun comes closey, it gets lighty. Good? Fucking bozo.
Of the moon.
No, this is really poor form. This is poor form, QE. You can't laugh this much at your own jokes. Yeah? As ridiculous as her statements are. But let her carry on straw man. But
I'm sorry.
I like the way your son's laughing at you.
Yeah, that's too funny.
Cycle.
What the fuck is... He's on his way to the bathroom or something, right? He could hear me because it's not that far away, and I was sitting there saying... Far away.
Right, stop now. Stop this. This is really getting weird. I'm like having a conversation with QE in the past. You didn't respond, then QE in the past gave me the correct answer to what I'd said.
Adam, I already covered this. It's the review of the review of the review with the infinite door opening.
Yeah, but it's the QE from 2 years ago that's answering my questions today. Live. It's weird.
What's this? What the hell is this cartoon? What is going on? See, that's what I said. When you stereotype and make shit up or mindlessly parrot from Wiki or Discovery Channel, this is what you come up with. Have you ever Flat Earthers, have you ever seen any shit like this before? If you have, let me know. PM. I haven't seen no shit like this. This is preposterous straw man. So you're just pissing in the wind, love.
To be noticeable, you have to shrink the sun and move it closer to the Earth.
Who cares?
You also have to somehow get the radiation of the sun to...
We don't have to get somehow shit. Falsification is independent of replacement. Now, please provide your evidence or proof for the sphere-tard, ball-tard. And then I'll go ahead and take it back to the woodshed. Right? Then all this will be over.
To be directional. That's many more ad hoc assumptions.
Ad hoc assumptions into your fairy tale that you just dreamt up. Into that horseshit straw man model. You just add ad hoc assumptions. Yeah, they're yours. Oh, boy. She's a clown, man.
But even with those assumptions, the size of the sun will change during the day.
The size of, you mean the not actual size of the sun will change its not actual size from its not actual position? That's profound. Anything else?
More than we observe. And
you observe. Look at her looking down at that prompter. That you observe. I don't see any observations here.
Alt. Again, projection. It's fundamental within the ball Earth claim is that the actual position of the sun is not the actual position because it's refracted above the horizon. So the sun rises before it actually rises or rises after its rise. Not my claim, but that's projection on her behalf again. And actually just hand-waving over her problem in her model that is the thing that holds her model together fundamentally, that when we see the sun, it's not its actual position. That's their statement. So to use that as evidence against us, an affirmative statement with regards to their model, whatever that is again, to me, like I say, projection. It's showing that she knows she's got a problem there.
You? I see somebody pretending to be Bruce Springsteen. Where's the E Street Band?
No one has ever successfully predicted solar eclipses.
Where's the E Street Band?
On a flat Earth.
What the fuck are you talking about? You no swearing. Researched, reprobate, friggin' numpty dipshit. You're a degenerate. Love. The Babylonians, at 600 to 800 BC, were predicting. It's not a scientific prediction. We'll get that out in a second. In a second, were predicting solar eclipses quite accurately. I don't think that they thought the Earth was a sphere-tard. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're just unresearched. You're just parroting Weak Ear Discovery Channel. Right? Oh, by the way, that's not a prediction with the eclipses. All they're doing is observing cycles for a long time. It's like looking at a clock. You know, stare at a clock for 300 years and note every time it hits 1, then a short time after that, it's going to hit 2. So after 300 years, you watching this clock go round and round and it go from 1 to 2 to 3. Then you go out on a limb and say, listen, after this monkey hits 1,
Mama's turn.
it's going to hit.
Mama's turn. Super chat.
Super glue, supernova, super booger. Did I rumpus him?
Yeah, it's okay though, because he's trying his first, you know those little cinnamon spicy candies?
Yeah.
The fireballs? He's trying the first, he's never had one before and he's eating it and it's so funny. Because it's spicy and he hated it and then he loved it and then it's so funny. Anyways, AI, he sent $2, 2 minute silence of Adam. Deal?
They fucking you out, Adam.
I'm going to go with no deal based on that super chat.
Yeah, I figured you would. It hit 2. There's my prediction. My word. You're a clown.
Calculated the observed motions of the planets.
We went over this before. Calculating the motions of the planets is fucking irrelevant to anything. No swearing, right? You're not going to, any moron can calculate using mathematics the motions, right? But that doesn't tell you what you're walking on, love. It's non sequitur. It's doofus. It's stupid. You're stupid.
The bottom line is, it's not easy to
The bottom line is you're a moron.
improve on today's scientific standard.
Scientific? This isn't science. She's just exposed herself again, folks. This isn't natural science, you doofus. That hasn't been 2 minutes. We're going to have to refund that super chat.
Yeah, refund it. I told her you can either have like a replay of the review, or you've got to have a review of the review. But you can't have it both ways. It's just repetition. We'll get struck by YouTube if we don't interject.
You guys are hilarious.
Thank you.
There was a point, but I've lost it.
I know you did. That's why I was going to save you and continue it without you having to respond again. How? Wait, we missed that. What did I call her? Doofus? You daft cow. Where's the science in this? Where's the science in your calculations? There's no science here. No natural science. None. It's devoid. Completely. You're in a category error.
It was for good reasons that the hypothesis of a flat Earth.
The what? The hypothesis. The hypothesis of the flat Earth. It doesn't exist. There's no. It's fucking non sequitur. No swearing. It's a category error. I've told you many a time. You don't know what a hypothesis is. Folks, this nutbag would fail 5th grade intro to general science. She doesn't know what a hypothesis is. If somebody would ask her to define a hypothesis right now, she wouldn't be able to with that horseshit statement. Right? It's Stromboli tennis. They're married bachelors. It doesn't work. What is or not how wise. At the very least, not even getting into what a hypothesis is. I'd need a translator, a dumb fuck. We need to translate down for you to dumb fuck. No swearing. That's what you are.
Was abandoned more than 2,000 years ago.
The flat Earth hypothesis that never and doesn't exist, neither does sphere Earth hypothesis, was abandoned. How many? What did she say?
Some people suggested to me that
it's 15 minutes. I can go back. You know, it's not a big deal. I can go back a little.
Easy to improve on today's scientific standard. It was for a good reason.
What the fuck is the scientific standard? Did I miss something else? Let me go back a little bit further, folks. Sorry.
Of the planets. The bottom radiation of the sun to be directional.
I missed a few things, folks, so I'm going back.
That's many more ad hoc assumptions. But even with those assumptions, the size of the sun will change during the day more than we observe. And no one has ever successfully predicted solar eclipses on a flat Earth or
You're an empty dipshit. We already went over this. You're exposed.
Calculated the observed motions of the planets.
Planets? I'll let that go.
The bottom line is, it's not easy to improve on today's scientific standard.
What scientist isn't science? There's no standard here. You're bringing in another subject. You're playing tennis with Strombolis. It doesn't make any damn sense. You're a clown. You're exposed for what? 4th or 5th time now with science?
It was for good reasons that the hypothesis of a flat Earth was abandoned more than...
Yeah, there's no flat Earth hypothesis. That's a married bachelor, achromatic rainbow, military intelligence, all of them wrapped up into one. She's a clown.
2,000 years ago.
2,000. That's an argument to age fallacy. Can you show us how? We want to see the flat Earth hypothesis and how it was debunked 2,000 years ago. If you don't, with your next statement, you're a village idiot. Baseless assertion. Look at her looking at that teleprompter. I don't have a teleprompter. As far as you know.
Some people suggested to me that flat earthers do not actually...
Some people suggested to you, so this is hearsay, that flat earthers, here comes another stereotype. This is a train wreck. Love, if you brought your little video in to like a courtroom and you'd already be drugged down the steps by the bailiff, by your short hairs, making sure your head hits every single step on the way down and thrown out in the street and laughed at. This is a clusterfuck of nonsensical bullshit. No, I'm swearing. This is hearsay and another stereotype. I took care of it. Fallacy. Coming.
Actually believe the Earth is flat.
I don't believe the Earth is flat, love. I know it for an absolute fact. And I've known it for 7 years now. I got proofs on my website, globeterminator.com. Flat Earth proofs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ABC. You get the idea systematically. Right? Now, go get one of your slobber nurses because they're going to need to translate it for your dumbass.
They are just mocking people who take scientific evidence.
Oh, there's you. Right on time. The court jester. That's your dumbass. I've shown, we're 2 minutes and 52 seconds in here, and that's you. With that, anyone that can fog a mirror that's been listening so far realizes that that's you. So thank you for the visual.
On trust, and that
trust. Who should we trust? Do they deserve our trust? I don't trust anybody that hasn't demonstrated trustworthiness. I don't just trust somebody just to trust them right off the bat and wait for them to fuck up. No, I do the opposite. You have to earn my trust. You definitely haven't earned it. You're an umpty dipshit.
Let us be honest, is something we all do.
We're being honest. You're a moron. Pretender clown prompter reader. Sabina Bruce.
To some extent, every now and then. And
you do it all the time. Every now and again, that's all you do.
It is probably the case that some flat earthers are indeed.
Here we go, a subgroup of a large group. This is another stereotype fallacy. How do you know this? From the court jester.
Just pretending. But if
you are a pretender clown. That's what you are. That's what's associated with this court jester over here. That's what you are. You're a pretender clown fraud. You're a theoretical physicist. That's an oxymoron wrapped in a paradox right off the bat. Your logic is well below 60 level. You're a fucking clown.
No swearing.
I've already shown that at 3 minutes. I mean, you'd already be on death row. You fucking bozo.
I find it exceedingly implausible. They are all just faking it. To begin with,
what the fuck is she on about?
He ain't listening.
What is this? Get to your sphere-tard evidence, ball-tard.
They would all have to be excellent actors.
Oh,
just
God,
look.
Here we go with this Nancy. Hey, where'd you go?
For the amazing...
Ah, crap. All right, folks. Give us a second. Oh, they're got the double whammy on me now. Shut up. Shut up! Oh, mute your dumb ass. All right, let's go back a little bit just in case we missed some stupid shit.
Have to be excellent actors. Just look at some of the videos on YouTube.
Just look at some of the video. What videos? That's an elephant hurling fallacy, by the way. Just vague, ambiguous, and non-connected, disconnected horseshit. That's it. Look at some of the videos. Or which ones? And what do they say? There's no point. There's nothing here. It's substanceless. From a pretender clown fraud. With a pumpkin pie haircut and freak.
Also, they are putting quite some time and in some cases money behind their conviction.
What does that have to do? Prove your sphere-tard, ball-tard. It's just that simple. Why don't you just do that? Why all the theatrics and the images of your dumb ass? It's just as simple as that. Are you diverting?
And that's why most of them full well know.
Most of them, here comes a stereotype. That's a stereotype fallacy. What's coming next, folks? That's by far her favorite fallacy, although the fallacies just roll on down the mountain after that one. It's like I said, it's a gateway fallacy. So what's coming next? Stereotype or I'm sorry, a straw man or a baseless assertion?
Coming out as flat earther will make others doubt their sanity.
What the fuck? What the hell? That wasn't neither of them. That was just dumbass. Let me go back. What?
Will make others doubt their sanity.
Gotta go back further, sorry.
They are all just faking it. To begin with, they would all have to be excellent actors. Just look at some of the videos on YouTube. Also,
yeah, that's elephant hurling fallacy. We already been over that.
So they are putting quite some time and in some cases money behind their conviction.
What does that mean?
And that's why most of them full well know coming out as flat earther will make others doubt their sanity.
I don't know. Listen, love, I don't know. That's some fucking idiot psychosis bullshit that you just made up. I never had experienced anything like that. What, coming out? That never crossed my mind, that phrase. It was just, I just realized what the truth was. It didn't have anything to do with any psychobabble horseshit. Right? I don't know. She's just making shit up.
All that makes it unlikely they are just in for the fun.
What the fuck? What? Who the hell is she? Who's her target audience? I'd like to know. It's making no sense. There's nothing here. What? What's your point, Sabina Bruce? Glory days.
Now, you may want to discard flat earthers as conspiracy theorists.
Conspiracy theorists? Why does the conspiracy always come up? What the hell? This is just fucking diversions. It's like a feeble poisoning the well type of ordeal. I'll bet you she doesn't even know what a conspiracy is. Hey, if you asked her to define what a conspiracy, I bet the farm she couldn't tell you what it was. So conspiracy, when two or more people get together for something, for a nefarious end or ending. No, that never fucking happens. No way. No, just every 5 seconds since humans been here. You freaking bozo. Sphere tard. We're going to need some evidence for your ball tart. Okay? Can you get on with that?
Some fraction of them arguably are.
Shut the fuck up and get on with the... Super flatty, super phone, super burger.
He said super mustache.
Nathan Oakley, he sent, Earth is measured flat. Shocker.
Thanks, Nathan. The evidence for your sphere tard.
But I think that would be somewhat unfair to most of them.
Oh, brother.
To understand why, it helps to have a look at the history of the Flat Earth Society.
Oh, shit. Flat Earth Society? The hell is that? Love, I'm a flat earther, right? Now, when I first jumped out here in 2016, I heard the phrase Flat Earth Society. I think I may have went to their website. I mean, just off the cuff. I can remember looking at, I went to the comment section and just looking at comments and then concluding after about 10 or 15 of them that these people were clueless clowns. And I just exited and never went back. So are you attributing, are you saying that I'm part of Flat Earth Society and shit? I mean, what the, like I said, if this was a courtroom, folks, it should be tossed out. She's a clown, Sabina Bruce here. You're fucking bozo. Where are you going with this?
Society. The Flat Earth Society goes back to an Englishman.
So I know that's been more than 2 minutes. So I'm good to redeem the super chat.
Yes, sir.
That's an important point she raises. It's the straw man that's always thrown at us. The place that nobody ever went to get to flat Earth. The place that when it was highlighted to them, they went, as you describe in this video, they went, they had a look, and they moved on quickly because it was some retarded nonsense that was more nonsensical than the ball Earth that was being portrayed by that place. Any flat earther that continues on the journey, one of the first steps they make is reject the Flat Earth Society. I remember being at the second Flat Earth conference in Milton Keynes and meeting up with Mark Sargent and him laughing, saying, yeah, the first thing I did was join up to the Flat Earth Society. I've still got my Flat Earth Society card. Yeah, it's nonsense. It doesn't represent us. It's very interesting of why they're there. If you want to get conspiratorial, which I don't, but that's where you'd look at those guys. But fundamentally, every flat earther on their journey, they go there, and I don't know anybody that stayed there. Do you?
Nope.
No.
Who gives a shit? Doesn't have anything to do with flat earthers. She hasn't been keeping up with the flat earth debate.
Named Samuel Rowbotham, who lived in the 19th
Now, I did hear that name before. All right. Samuel Rowbotham. Let's just roll with this horseshit.
century. He was a medical doctor who believed he had proved that the earth is flat and then complained
He had proved that the earth is flat and then complain, or the earth is flat and then complain what?
for the rest of his life that the supposed scientific authorities ignored him.
Yep, there we go again. She just exposed herself again. This isn't a scientific topic. And if he said that shit, and if he thought it was science, then he's a numpty dipshit too. I don't know whether he said what you said he said, but if he did say that, then he's an idiot. This isn't a scientific topic. My God.
I want to.
It's like taking a lemon. Halt.
I want to defend Rowbotham. I've read Rowbotham. I've never seen anywhere where he claims it's science in that sense. These are observable and demonstrable is the language he's using. Again, not just the straw man, but just a basic misrepresentation of Rowbotham's work.
Yeah, because she didn't do anything.
Dishonest.
She just posted a wiki image of him, right? And then went off on her delusional rants. That's all she did.
Can I go off on a delusional rant on that? I've been privy this week to some preliminary work. I won't say where it's coming from, but it will come out with regards to the repetition of Rowbotham's work with in terms of the Bedford level. You notice how I excluded the E word at the end of that.
It was noted.
And I think if I'm going to criticise Rowbotham, that's where I would. That's how it's always been described. But I've been privy to that. Oh, it's going to be fun. I've seen pictures already that demonstrate what he demonstrated. Yeah, over 6 miles, mate. And then I've got water going. I can see water behind the Pulney Bridge. Yeah, so the line of the water level is beyond the bridge, 6 miles on the Bedford level. Nobody's claiming this is science, Sabine. This is just observable fact. Now, you may try to say, well, this is the reason we see too far. But I generally don't see it as science. So the only mitigation I give there is that thing is described as an experiment, which I would, if I'm being honest, conditionally date that the definitions are still being determined, or it's flexible, that term experiment, and mitigatable for Rowbotham. Not for us and me, which is why I stopped short of saying it, because we should know better now. But in the late 1800s, I'll mitigate for Rowbotham for describing his empirical observations as an experiment. I'll correct him because it doesn't really matter other than the definition. But what he observed still stands and is a problem for them, which is why they try to poo-poo it and why it's subject to so much attack, this thing, and which is why it will be so powerful.
Oh, so you're going to do a presentation?
I think there will be not me doing a presentation. I'll stay short of who's going to do it all. But I think...
Yeah, because Adam would never.
Sadly,
Is that going to be before or after Time Bandits in late 2029?
it will be before Time Bandits and probably after the new BALLBUSTERS.
Ah, good one. Nice move. I love where your mind's at.
But before that,
Right.
Jesus is coming back.
Oh.
Not before the new BALLBUSTERS intro or before the Bedford level, but with regards to Time Bandits, Flatsy, yeah, you got me.
Yeah, Flatsy's making a prediction that he would be back before 2029. Did everyone hear that?
Oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. That's a little much.
Pie, something that you screwed up with a lemon meringue pie to a veterinarian. It makes no damn sense. That's the level that we're at here. You just expose yourself again. This is at least the 5th time scientifically that you've shown that you have no acumen whatsoever. Thank you.
He referred to his method as Zeticism after
Ooh, that's a $10,000 word
the
right there.
Greek word ceteo.
You hear that, Betty? Zeticism.
Yeah, I love it.
I like that.
All right. 10,000 or 50,000?
Both.
All right.
Put it on my account.
What's that?
I said, put it on my account.
Betty.
Greek, you went to the root.
Betty.
You don't have an account. Remember, you lack accountability.
I don't.
Shut up, Adam. You're ruining this. They lack
Sorry.
reason and accountability. Betty knows that.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Adam.
Who needs accounts?
Now who needs
I wanted
accounts?
to ask Betty.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Betty.
Yeah.
Zeticism. It's not a dirty word, is it, to me? It's a standard of empirical analysis that admits it's lower in terms of cause and effect than science. It's a postulation use of logic, which may enable you to draw a conclusion, but it doesn't elucidate a cause and effect, something as definitive that the scientific method does. And these guys recognized it, which is why Rowbottom, when he's talking about the stars and the things like that and the nature of Earth, he recognizes 150 years before Sabine that this is not a question of science. Hence why he uses the philosophy of Zeticism as his analytical method, because he's already recognized this is not a question for cause and effect.
Very nice.
But Zeticism does indeed. Yeah.
Very nice. Very well said. No, kudos,
I'm
Adam.
done.
That was very articulate. Root word and back to the Greek. Using a little etymology on our ass, huh? What did she say it was? Zeteto? Pretty cool.
As Zeticism after the Greek word zeteo, to seek.
Zeteo. Sorry. Zeteo. Did you know that, Adam? Zeteo.
I didn't know the root cause of it, but I have looked into what Zeticism is and what it can claim and what it does claim. Hence why I find her ignorance.
It was a
appalling.
it was a closed-ended question, Adam. Either a yes or no.
Not sure.
So what does that mean?
By Zeticism, he meant after the Greek word zeteo, to seek.
So it means to seek. Since we're here, we're going to have to follow along with this idiot, right? So just to make sure, right? I can't skip anymore.
By Zeticism, he meant an extreme version of the philosophy of empiricism.
Philosophy of empiricism? The fuck does that mean? Do you know what empirical means? I'll bet you she hasn't a
No, she
fucking
doesn't.
clue what empirical means. Guarantee it.
Rowbotham's philosophy, which is still the philosophy of flat earthers today.
That's what I'm trying. Here we stereotype fallacy, right? Right? And now she's going to do what? She's going to give us both a straw man and a baseless assertion fallacy. Listen, love. Like, I've heard this guy's name before. It's been brought up. I have not researched him or his ideas or concepts one iota. She has just assigned me his philosophy. That's the level that we're at here.
Halt. I think that this was she's now misrepresenting it. I outlined what Zeticism was and how it uses empiricism, okay, to make sure that what it does. But it's a logical conclusion statement is Zeticism, yeah? It's not a cause and effect. And no, modern flat earthers have not adopted Zeticism. We've adopted science. And what we've had to do is go back and wash out the brainwashing to remember when we were kids as to, shout out QE, to bring us back to what science meant. That's where the disconnect is. This is where you're struggling with the term Zeticism. I can deal with it, and I understand its parameters. Yeah, I don't hold to it, but at least Rowbottom recognised that in terms of the celestials and the nature of Earth, the methodology of science was not applicable, which is why he adopted Zeticism, for him to build a hypothetical worldview based on logic. Now, that logic is a conclusion based on its empirical results. It doesn't mean it's right because it's a Zetetic conclusion, not a scientific conclusion.
Betty, you see what happens when you stop drinking?
You sober up.
You sober up and you become...
Yeah, I've had about 4 bottles of wine tonight. Honestly, I've been drinking Prosecco all day. I've had a really nice one, Prosecco and Campari. It's called a Spritz. That's really nice. I started them about 2 o'clock, and we're now 3 bottles in. So it's the complete antithesis of your suggestion, sir.
Wow, no, there's got to be something in that. Could you get like a few cases of it and bring it back with you?
The Kiwi's eating his own foot right now.
No, I'm not. I want him. That's some different alcohol he's drinking now.
Yeah, well, we've had Pecorino, Prosecco, and very different wines, different grapes, Kiwi. They all have different effects.
That's my point. Yeah, shut up, Flatsy.
You were a case, John.
Can somebody
I'm
ban?
not banned yet.
Can somebody ban Betty?
Betty.
You
It's
should
just
just
a fucking
noticing how
bozo.
magnanimous.
Somebody ban Neil. A bimbo bozo. She's a That's
bimbo-
what you are. This is
bozo.
nonsense. And it's all fallacies. This is just a carpet bomb barrage of fallacious reasoning. Your parents must be proud and game roosters.
Is that if you want to understand nature, you should only rely on information from your own senses.
Yeah,
Does she have
and
any sense?
yeah, she relies on how did she survive this far?
Out in the wild.
That's a hell of a statement for a baller to make, isn't it? You should only rely on the information from your own senses. Now, first question I'll ask you then, Sabine, do you feel like you're spinning?
Yeah.
Is she saying that we should rely on our senses?
No.
I thought we were stupid for doing that.
No. She's saying that what Andrew Thomas Young here did, I'm sorry, Robotham, was his philosophy is to only rely on your senses. That's what she's saying that he said.
Okay.
Neil, keep up.
Got
Is
it.
that what he said, or is that what you're saying? Is that what he said?
That's what she
He
said.
said he said.
Yeah, that's what she said. All right, unban Betty.
I'm back, baby.
Your own sense. So you're indicting him for discovering things in nature from his own senses. Is that what you're going for here?
How senseless.
I sure hope not. You're not going to contradict yourself later, are you?
You can, for example, read on the website
That's a bit
of
like
the flat
saying, isn't it? It's like, I was taught by the Ball Earth that to cross a road, I have to look both ways before crossing. I looked both ways and then walked and I was hit by a car.
Earth society. The world looks flat. The bottom
From the flat earth. Yeah, but this is a straw man knucklehead. This doesn't have anything to do with flat earthers out here. Nothing to do with me, nothing to do with flat earth debate. So, like I said, this is just a straw man against us. This is useless. We'll go through it, but I don't give a shit. It's not charging me with anything.
bottoms of clouds are flat. The move
1 second.
Uh-oh, he's back.
Sorry.
You
If I
started
can't
this.
trust my experience of reality, then how do I define what reality is?
By somebody else's experience?
How do I know what reality is if I can't trust my own experience of it?
Calculation, Brian.
Yeah, shut up and calculate.
Oh,
movement of the
but that's
sun.
the reality. That's why I said sarcastically earlier, do you feel like you're spinning? No. Okay, well, we are spinning, so let's calculate it so you can deny your senses. This is what Sabine is projecting here on us, yeah, but most fundamentally, we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour at the equator. Deny those senses. Let me put you on something, QE. Spin you at 1,000 miles an hour. Will you feel it? Yes.
Super mustache, super stupid, super flatsy.
Roger Ledwell, he sent for the final experiment and the Nandies.
Uh-oh.
I don't. What's Nandies? I don't know.
Super Mario.
These are all examples of your senses telling you that we do not live on a spherical heliocentric world. This is using what's called an empirical approach.
No, that's not an empirical approach. Now you should call.
No,
you should call this out. Let's see if she. What?
Yeah, I'll let you go first, QE.
Calls this out.
The use of the word empiricism will show what she knows, I think, here.
And that will confirm that she doesn't know what empirical means. If she doesn't call this out as not being empirical, then she's guilty. Right? Follow?
Approach that relies on information from.
We can't even get through it.
That's the third time no, because I'm having a really good conversation with QE 2 years ago. We're like simpatico, as they would say in Italian. It's weird.
The ghost of QE passed.
Yeah. I'm having a good chat with him, if I'm being honest. I don't know what's going off with you live, but the guy I'm talking to from 2 years ago, we're on the same level. It's great.
I'm surprised that Betty didn't have a backhanded slight with that. I caught her off guard with it, I think. Give her a couple minutes.
I have a report from the field.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, go ahead.
So the final experiment is a thing going around right now where they're basically saying if we can go to the South Pole and experience the 24-hour sun, like seeing the sun circle for 24 hours, then that would definitively prove the Earth is a globe. Now, I've been told, I haven't verified this, but I've been told that 3 of the most prominent flat earthers believe this proposition.
I said that last week.
Yep. So that's what the final experiment is. That's all I came to say.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
go back to work.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point because this has come up, right? And many noses have been put out of joint in the flat Earth community. Though only Nathan, who doesn't know toffee, was invited to discuss on this from the FED panel, frankly. Yeah. And
hold on. Who don't know toffee? What the hell does that mean?
I was just being cheeky.
Okay.
It was a backhanded slide that didn't need picking up. It was just out there to go, Nathan. The point I'm making is, if you look at who was invited, QE was not invited to comment on the great experiment. Forget my ego, yeah? The point I'm saying, I'm looking at this, look at who was invited. We went through it on Nathan's show, and there was like one flat earther, one ball earther. And we turned it into an MMA fight who'd win as we went through it. We battered them, by the way, genuinely. But this is what the great experiment is. A straw man attempt to invite lots of flat earthers, lots of ballers into the point of whether or not there's a 24-hour sun in close to Antarctica, as described on the ball. Right? Well, if you're a baller, shouldn't that exist already? Is there a need for a pseudo quasi experiment? Yeah. That's the next point. To be able to resolve this, shouldn't you just, all you need is a camera, right, and just a bit of time, and it'll be demonstrable, and should have been demonstrable by now. It shouldn't require a load of flat earthers and ball earthers to gather together, to decide the great experiment.
Yeah, but the implicit thing that you're trying to get people on the hook for is to tacitly agree that if they did see the sun, quote unquote, for 24 hours, that would prove the Earth is a globe.
Yeah, so that's the point.
They're fishing for flat earthers to agree with that, under the assumption that there isn't one. And then if they can show that there is, then that flat earther would be trapped by forcing to concede that the earth was a globe, even though this is fallacious logic.
Yeah, but you see, what they need is they need numpty flat earthers or flat earth lawyers, which we have, Jaron Campanella, to agree to these things. And then they go, see, you agreed it's a globe, so that makes it a globe. Wow.
And now,
Epic levels of evidence.
sorry.
Again,
And now I'm
Hold
just
on,
imagining.
Adam. Hold on, Adam. Flatsy wanted to get in there.
Flatsy speaking. I'd
Yeah.
already shut up before you interrupted me. I'd already stopped at the point I heard Flatsy speak.
Hey,
'cause I'm a
Adam,
gentleman.
shut up. Flatsy wants to speak.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind over talking you, but she's a lady, so carry on, Flatsy.
I'm just imagining QE mule kicking Witsit.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
You know, do you hear Brian when he was speaking? He didn't miss a beat. He goes, you know, it's the flat Earth liars, Jaron Campanella, and he kept going on. I lost it.
I heard it clearly.
Truth is easy to speak.
Yeah, well, Brian, see, and this is where, again, it's a straw man from the great experiment point of view, right? So if you were to take certain people of an Ethereum worldview, they would also reify a dome and the coffee cup, okay, in terms of light behavior. So even on a flat Earth with a dome, the reason why you would get this thing that nobody's ever managed to prove yet in the year 2024, which is a bit strange, considering 8 years ago, Nathan had a bloke testify that he'd never seen it. He was down there. And it's such a simple thing to provide. But even if you were to accept that straw man, then there's a certain section of the flat Earth community, like I would say more Ethereum based, that would already have a presupposition that would mitigate for it. That doesn't, well, like I said, the direct answer would be the coffee cup reflection. Based on the dome, so that the internal reflections of the dome provide that same sun based on its transit on a flat Earth. So I still don't, from a baller's point of view, understand why you would present this as a point of resolution, because it's not, because there's already postulation out there as to why you could get this thing that nobody's ever been able to demonstrate already.
Sure, but like he said, you're chasing a fallacy to begin with. And before, and hold on, and before, I think I could say this confidently. Before Nathan interviewed Robert Shortman, I talked to him personally, and I asked him straight up. I said, "Okay, let's get down to brass tacks." He was down there for 18, I think a little bit more than 18 months. He was not a plumber, but sort of like a civil engineer type of thing, and he was down there under contract. And I put it right to him. I said, did you see the 24-hour sun when you were down there for 18 plus months? He said, nope. That's it. It's all over. I understand the fallacy that AI was talking about, but even if they do, I realize that's hearsay to you, but I talked to him face to face.
And in what season was he there then?
He was there for, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons he was there for.
Yep.
All right.
You remember, were you around? Do you remember that? He was on Robert Pisano's show.
Yeah, and I know you're getting into a fight over stuff, evolution, God, proofs of God, for example.
Are you smoking shrooms? What are you talking
No,
about?
you were in a debate with Robert Pisano, that guy Shortman, on the God proofs back then.
Yes.
Back in the day. And I remember that they both wanted to go far away from any existence of God.
Are you sure that was Robert Shortman on? That was another gentleman, Betty.
No, it was also him.
But he wasn't saying anything, though.
Yes, he was saying something.
But go get it. You're going to have to refresh my memory. Boy, we're well off the beaten path. Hey, AI.
I was just about to say that.
Hey, AI, I appreciate that, man. The red herring fallacy, the whole damn show.
We're so far removed from the review of the review of the review.
The reason why I did it is because I ran out of money to make Brian be quiet, so I had to do something.
AI, while she prepared to keep me quiet with financial platitudes to QE, I actually had the question. I thought what you brought up was pertinent, and that's why I raised. Do you not see the problem with their resolution? There is a community of flat earthers that even if you were to
yes,
I'm
we
talking
already
to
heard
AI.
it. Yes, we already heard it once. We don't need to hear it again. Yes, we already know. You already told us.
Oh, am I repeating?
Yes.
I'll stop doing it.
All right, on to the regular scheduled program.
Your senses.
Medication, doesn't it?
That flat Earth.
What was that backhanded slight? Ban her.
No, Adam.
Oh, unban her.
Insists on evidence from.
Oh, you better get to that empirical. There, psycho witch. Stop reading that prompter and get to that empirical. I'll bet you you're psycho witch. Producer didn't. I'll bet you he or she doesn't know what empirical is either. You better get to that quick.
Your own senses only really is key to understanding that.
Nope, she didn't. She's guilty. She doesn't know what empirical means. Yeah. You're a pretender clown fraud. You're a fucking moron. Oh, no swearing.
So in the past, you've attacked her producer. She looks like a shabby Daisy Duke, doesn't she? The only producer is her. This is why she's reading. She's written it out. This is her monologue. I genuinely believe these are all her words.
Okay.
There's nothing contrived by anybody else here. This is, and then the most recent one shows there's no support here. This is just an emotional discharge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, sir. Emotional discharge. I like that. Moron. As simple as that. Prosecution rests. Yeah, but we won't stop here, man. Where's the fun in that?
A problem. I will come back to this. But
please don't. You're just going to embarrass yourself again, you dumbass cow.
First, let me tell you the rest of the history.
Oh, shit.
After Rowbotham's death in 1884.
Well, we all like a little history lesson every now and again, don't we? Let's let it go.
The flat earth idea was carried forward by another British guy, Samuel Shenton, who once explained to a journalist, "No man knows the ultimate shape of the earth, but that portion we live on is definite."
We live, that says life, love. Not to be overly pedantic, but that portion we life on. Now, did Samuel Shenton write that, or did you fuck it up? Or your producer? I'll let it go.
Definitely flat. No one will ever know what the whole complexity is like, I suppose, because it goes beyond his sphere of observation, investigation, and comprehension. Again,
let's roll back on that.
Roll
back
on
one.
To say, can we just go back and review that statement? Because I don't have a real objection to that.
Let's see.
No man knows the ultimate shape of the earth. Right? Now, we may be able to dispute that point, that we could demonstrate it. But at this point, from Rowbotham's position, that's an honest statement. But that portion we live on is definitive, right? Well, yes, by everything we do and means, navigate or build, no one will ever know what the whole complexity is like. Totally agree. As in, I don't even know what's past the bits that I'm allowed to travel to. I suppose because it goes beyond his sphere of observation, investigation, and comprehension. What a profound statement, yet correct. Yeah. Why do we not claim anything about the stars? Yeah, in terms of what they are and what they can do, because they're beyond our sphere of observation and investigation, and more fundamentally, comprehension. I can only agree with that because it's a statement of humility, not arrogance.
I could be in trouble if I take this to the woodshed, right?
I'd have to disagree up to a point. First of all, I think it's Samuel Shenton she's talking about there.
Yeah.
Secondly, I suppose from what we know of it, it doesn't have any shape. It's flat. Is the only way to describe it because it's formless. As in there's no consistent form to it.
Sure.
You know, so that's all I could say. So I can't really disagree with what Adam said. I just wanted to say something that would sound like I'm disagreeing with him.
I gotta phone a friend, the expert on the topic. Who has gone to the depths? Who has laid a line across
Hey,
the
that's
earth to tell
Joe.
me,
Dope.
to tell me the breadth thereof? Declare it if you have understanding.
We already know that's Job. I did that for my first public speaking engagement at university, by the way. Now,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Isn't it cool? It shocked my classmates, by the way. I was gonna do the one from Pulp Fiction, but Pulp Fiction didn't come out at that time.
What?
Ezekiel, the Ezekiel passage that he quoted, but never mind. Now Adam's put this. Maybe I should stop here because I can't remember whether I took this to the woodshed or not. Adam agrees totally with what he said. So if I start pulling it apart, that means me and Adam. You put me in a difficult position here in the ghost of QE past.
Well, I know, but it's not the first time we'll have disagreed. It doesn't. Look at the nuance of where the disagreement will be. I'm looking at his words, not interpreting it in any geocentric, heliocentric, anything. Just the honest words of a man. And if I read them as they stand alone, I actually think that is a very honest summation of where I am today.
You already said that.
I know, but I'm just double downing to make sure I'm going to prove you wrong if you did like attack me.
So hold on. Shut up. What's the philosophy? Tell him what you told him, and then
tell him again.
Tell him again. Go ahead, Brian. Shit.
Well, Adam has been in total alignment with QE from 2 years ago. That's why you're called quantum eraser, I suppose.
Thank you. Let's okay.
So I can't see it going wrong.
Now that we built it up, let's see what happens. Isn't it fun? Here we go. Samuel Shannon, let's take a look. No man knows the ultimate shape of the earth. Yep. By that portion we live on is definitely flat. Not only is the portion that we live on, it is navigatably flat. That means the whole darn thing. So that's what we know now, but his statement is correct. Ooh, I'm lining up with this. This is correct so far.
We're doing well, aren't we?
Yes,
We're
we
not gonna
are.
fall out, mate, I don't think.
We only got, one sentence to go. Please, God. No one will ever know what the whole complexity is like. That's a little vague. I'm being pedantic. It is a little vague. I get his point overall, though. But okay.
Yeah, but
You mean your point?
Shut up. I'm trying to finish this. I'm lined up with you for now.
That in itself is a standalone sentence. Flatsy. If I was to say to you, after all these years, no one will ever know what the whole complexity is like. Would you agree or disagree with that statement? Now, to me, I would preface it with until I'm dead and I meet my maker. Then I might have a clue. But as I sit here now, at no point in my life do I think I will ever know the whole complexity of what everything is like.
I agree with that.
Goodness gracious.
Now hit play.
Goodness gracious, you greased the skids hard with that one. All right.
You don't know that.
Don't tell me what to do.
You go, girl.
I suppose ban her.
I'm talking to Adam.
It goes. All right, let me go back. Let me pull a fiver. Okay, let's see how this is going to turn out. But okay. I suppose because it goes beyond his sphere. Is that a pun? I suppose because it goes beyond his sphere of observation, investigation, and comprehension.
It should actually read hemisphere.
You ruined it. Shut up. investigation, and comprehension. I can roll with this. Ah, we got total agreement. How about that?
We're all good, bro.
Yeah.
Carry on. Thank
Boy,
God for that, eh? Thank God for that.
I don't see too much wrong with this. Little vague. We could have got a little bit more detailed, and he wasn't up to date on flat Earth debate because he's from the past. So this isn't all that bad. What's your problem with it?
It's not.
Sabina Bruce. Yeah. So we're all in agreement. Look at that.
Investigation and comprehension.
I want to pause again now.
You would.
Right. And put it back up on screen. So it's there, the statement. Because I would challenge any flat earther today, for someone 150 years ago, how profound and honest that statement is, and how it describes what I've had to reconcile, that there are limitations to my knowledge because I'm not the creator. I'm not Enoch. There's certain things I will never know. Yeah. And he outlines them there very simply in a very humble way.
I agree. And QE past agrees. Problem with it. Sabina Bruce.
Investigation and
It's
comprehension.
louder.
What? It's louder.
He said a lot of super chat, super mustache. He said a bunch of them, but he said it in such a high pitched voice you couldn't hear.
Can't hear. Only dolphins can hear him. And shit. Go super flatsy.
Roger Ledwell sent evening spell correct bandits. Oh yeah, I meant to correct that. That super chat that he sent, the Nadis or Nandis was meant to be bandits.
Bandits. I got it.
So for the final experiment and the bandits.
Got it. Thanks, Roger.
Again, note the emphasis on personally collected evidence.
The emphasis on personally collected evidence. Let's see if there's any emphasis there. What do you mean? What gives
How
emphasis?
do you collect evidence?
Is there evidence? Shut up! Let's go through it. See if that's what he said. Evidence. Emphasis on life. The live life train wreck. No, it's the same. I don't see any emphasis put on it here. I suppose because it goes beyond his sphere of observation, investigation, and comprehension. I don't see what you're getting to, love. Are you saying because he wrote this that he only will utilize those things which he has observed, investigated, and comprehended? I don't know if you could I don't know if that might be a bridge too far. You perhaps can. I don't know, but it doesn't sound like that to me. I could be wrong on that. Who really cares? Sphere tart. Give us some evidence for your ball tart. Okay? Because we're just getting bored traveling down this history road that's utterly meaningless anyway.
Investigation and comprehension.
She almost Jedi mind tricked me. I'm evaluating this shit.
Again, note the emphasis on personally collected evidence.
There's no emphasis there. You just said there's emphasis. Like you're just a village idiot. Stop reading that prompter. Fuck.
In 1954.
The village idiot point. The village idiot point is what she's just ascribed to Shelton. He's so long ago he didn't know anything, therefore his summation, which I agree with, is retarded because he must be a village idiot because he didn't know anything to come to that summation.
No, she's got reading.
What's that fallacy?
She's got reading comprehension issues because the gentleman didn't.
I know. That was my point. The missing, the straw man of the statement. Like I said, the statement. I'm going to do a Tony. Yeah, but unfortunately, the statement was a statement of humility and a statement that I would agree with after this long journey I've got to. And I don't think you disagree with it. That statement fundamentally, and you didn't. You couldn't, even 2 years ago, you couldn't fight that. Not one word did you fight. And that's very telling. And that's why I say that's an honest statement from an intellectual man back in the day that knew exactly all the current knowledge, call it science, whatever, you know what I mean? But that's the conclusion that are being brought back to them, that these things are not the remit of science, and that fundamentally, as a human being in creation, it's not for me to know, or it's not for me to even pretend that I can conceive of it.
We already been over this.
And I think that's that.
No, I think it's Adam. You're saying something profound, and Kiwi's saying we've already been over it. But no, there's something more profound happening here.
All right, what's the secret mystery we can't see from going over this for the last 20 minutes?
Yeah, for the past 9 years, flat earthers and before our time, go back to Samuel Shenton, who she's referring to, and Rowbottom before him and everyone else. They have been attacked publicly and character assassinated for being honest about what they experience in reality. You're being attacked for honesty. She's attacking him for his honesty. That's all he's doing. He's just being honest.
She's attacking
being honest.
She's attacking the straw man because she said that he said something he didn't say.
Yes, but what he did say was honest, and she has to make it into something dishonest to try and attack it. We're just being attacked for being honest.
Yeah.
When I say there's no curvature, there isn't, because there isn't. It's not me just saying it. There just isn't. That's just the honest, true position. And I'm attacked. Like everyone, not me, me, but everyone who says that is attacked. We're just stating facts, and you're attacked for your honesty. So that's what's actually happening. Heliocentrism has an attack on honesty, not flat earthers.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Shenton created the International Flat Earth Society.
Who cares? Like I said, all this is a straw man fallacy. So I shouldn't even give it any mind, but it's part of this, so I figured we'd go through it.
Few people cared. He died in 1971.
What was his favorite color? That would be about as relevant as everything you gave up to now.
His death, the Flat Earth Society was taken over by the US-American Charles
Sorry,
Johnson.
1 second.
But even after the advance...
Sorry, she just said there, few people care. Sorry, Superchat.
Super glue, supernova, superchargers. Did I anticipate that?
He was trying to say super chat, and then he got angry with me because I was telling him to speak up. Anyways, Tony Whitcomb, he sent, dwarf husband says to dwarf wife, I can't switch off, I can't sleep. Wife says, me neither. Maybe tomorrow I can stand on your shoulders, LOL.
I'm going to have to read that.
Booger said Roger Lidwell, but it was Tony Whitcomb.
That's because Tony does send some riddles and stuff that you have to stop and you have to look at. So appreciate it, Tony. I'll look at it later.
Event of the internet.
Can we not have that one again now? I was lost.
Yeah, I'll read it again. Dwarf husband says to dwarf wife, so they're little people.
No.
I can't switch. I can't switch off. I can't sleep. Wife says, me neither. Maybe tomorrow I can stand on your shoulders.
To turn the light, to screw the light bulb in. Is that what he's going for?
To turn off the light switch. That's why he's attacking little people.
All right. This must be some British humor. Do you get it, Adam?
I just wanted to state before you press play. She said, at the end of her talk about Samuel Shenton, she said, but few people cared about when he finished doing it or he passed away or whatever. Few people cared. It's like, why does it matter how many care?
Yep.
He's either right or he's wrong.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? That was a few people cared. What? About the man's whole life work?
Yeah. Who really cared about
it? Make it wrong.
Yeah. And who can she show that people didn't care?
Yeah.
No, she didn't. And the reality of the history shows that people did care, because this is the point of the emergence of the globe within the actual mainstream narrative. Now, it may have well been presupposed among the controlled elite intellectuals, and this thing's been built for a time. But this is a point with regards to Victorian life okay, where there are people who are investigating these things, philanthropists, whatever, but they're looking at these things and they are objectionable. And the reason these people are famous in their time is because the objectionable reports that they produce are very popular, because when people read them, they agree with the nonsense that the Earth is not a globe, because it's never been a globe, which is why somebody can produce a document like this and it become popularized, because people are reading it and agreeing with it. This is all in contrary to what she's saying. This is some lunatic that espoused some stuff in the 1800s that nobody agreed with. It's not the point. This is a consensus opinion, so much so that this introduction of a globe in this time is so antithetical to everybody else's understanding that certain people are objectionable to it, and they make books. The internet doesn't exist, but there's enough people have an interest in this to buy the books for this thing to come out and to populate. We're not in an internet society. For these things to get to production, they have to be popularized. Otherwise, they don't exist. And they're there. And why are they there? Because society is telling people in the norm that certain things that are objectionable to them are the real worldview. And there's people like Rowbottom and their likes standing up and saying, no. And this is why. Nonsense. It's not a globe. Yeah, it doesn't matter. There's multitudes of these people in the 1800s, and it shows fundamentally in the 1800s that the population is being fed a globe at this point. Yeah, this isn't some rando conspiratard YouTube shit that comes out today. This is supporting public opinion. That's why it's popularized.
Yeah, Adam,
Not
and the thing is, you know who really is bothered about that right now this week? Sabine Hosselfelder. Yeah, few people cared except for you this week. You really care, as we've seen. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Flat earthers did not attract much attention. Johnson died.
It's just nonsense. It's empty nonsense.
In 2001, at which point the Flat Earth Society had 3,500 or so members.
What does that mean? How do you know that? I didn't see that in there. It might be in there. What does that mean anyway? What?
Past QE dozed off because he knew in the future Adam would be speaking for a long time.
Dad, did you hear the snore after Adam goes done? Yeah. Dude.
Like I said, I'm talking to the past. It's brilliant. He's even sarcastic to me in the past. It's ridiculous.
From the past, I anticipated it.
Yeah.
Because I was brought back from the future.
Yeah, fallacy ad populum, what she just made, by the way.
Yep. Nothing.
Job then fell to another American, Daniel Shenton, who is not related to the earlier Shenton, but whose logic falls right in line.
Yeah, it should. Daniel Shenton was an evolutionist. His logic falls right in line with yours. I will guarantee you that you're a fuckwit evolutionist. Notice why I guarantee it. Daniel Shenton was. You guys are bedfellows, by the way. Love.
He said in an interview with The Guardian in 2010, "I don't think there is solid proof.
Let's take a look at this one. I'll let her finish.
I'm not intentionally being stubborn about it, but I feel our senses tell us these things, and it would take an extraordinary level of evidence to counteract those. How many people have actually investigated it? Have you?"
That was very poignant right there, the last part. How many people have actually investigated it? Have you, love? Sabina Bruce. Nope, you haven't. You've just been told. Right? Like the millions of others. You go to school, they fucking tell you the way it is, and that's it. You haven't investigated. That word is very important. It's key. Investigated it. So I can agree with what he says right there. Up here, I don't think there's solid proof. Solid proof of what? I'm not intentionally being stubborn about it, but I feel our senses tell us these things. Tell us what? sort of a reification. And it would take an extraordinarily I don't think that works, but that's why they put spelling. They don't know what he doesn't know what he's saying. Level of evidence to counteract. It's too vague. I don't do vague or ambiguous. I do hyper precision. So I don't do anything with this. I'm not going to evaluate it anymore other than the last sentence. What's the point anyway?
Shenton had the idea to set up a
Isn't
wiki
that an
page for
admission of lack of knowledge?
I suppose.
There's no statement of arrogance there. There's a statement of humility, and there's a question of that we ask all of these guys. You know, when the ballers come on, and what we demonstrate is that they haven't investigated this.
Yep.
And that's generally how we deal with ballers, to demonstrate that they've not even looked into this properly. They just assumed they're right. So David Shelton, Flat Earth Society, again, the statement he's making outside of his individual claims, which don't sit in the quotations we've seen, for me. Go back to it. Let me just read that again, Kiwi. Give me a J. I don't think there is solid proof. Well, that's the only point now. And now, 10 years ago, I'd probably have to agree with him, but there are solid proofs now, which I won't recite. But that's my first point of disagreement with him. But that, again, isn't a point of contention. It's a point of humility at his point in time. I'm not intentionally being stubborn about it. Yeah. So he's not being a dick. I'm not being a dick. I'm just saying, yeah, but I feel our censors tell us these things, and it would take an extraordinarily level of evidence to counteract those. So I'm not being a dick. It's just I'm asking for evidence. Well, again, I agree. Yeah. And then more fundamentally, and this is where we will refer to flat earth debate, how many people have actually investigated it? That's who we flat earthers now encounter. Those that haven't bothered to investigate it, but just turn up with their proofs. Hence, have you?
Not their proofs.
Again, I can't disagree with them.
They don't turn up with their proofs. They turn up with Wiki and Discovery Channel proofs that they were given. Go ahead, Brian.
I think he's a flat earther, though, this guy. I think he's talking about there isn't proof for the globe, unless I have it all back.
No, you're right. The last sentence. What's the point anyway?
Shenton had the idea to set up a wiki page for the Flat Earth community.
Who gives a shit? What was his favorite fantasy football running back?
Still, no one cared. But in 2016, everything changed.
2016, everything. Yeah. I arrived. And stomped the muddle in your dumbasses. That's what changed.
What?
Cue the song.
What happened in 2016 is that a few devout flat earthers put up videos here on YouTube.
Yeah, and
that really got things going by way of recruitment.
That really got things going on the way of recruitment. Were they recruitment videos? Show one. Which one of these were recruitment videos?
Oh, are we the Salvation Army?
Yes. One. I've been recruited for.
So before. Are we the Salvation Army as flat earthers?
Yes. I know what recruitment videos are, and I never seen one by Flat Earth. I don't know what you're talking about. What the hell are you talking about?
Nah, right. So this is where you dated QE 2 years ago. This is where you dated. This is where your naivety kicked in. You didn't realize about Ethereanism.
Yeah.
There's recruitment there.
Yeah. Delusional dozy duffer. You delusional dozy duffer. Yeah, that's a classic.
Recruiting new believers. These videos have meanwhile been...
These videos. Oh, here's one. Oh, she did show one. Sorry about that. Flat Earth science. Whoever wrote this is a numpty dipshit, much like you love, that doesn't Flat Earth science. It's non sequitur. It's a paradox. Can't have Flat Earth science or sphere Earth science. They're both non sequiturs. I don't know what video
that was
this
the
one
point
is.
I wanted to interact on there, QE. So when we looked at the last Shelton quote, what he said was there is no proof, okay, no definitive proof. He didn't say, as Sabine and globers would say scientific proof. So as much as you want to attack this man, look at the language he uses. Now, I can only assume that he, by the fact that he didn't say there's no scientific proof, the fact that he didn't say that means to him that scientific proof is non sequitur in this argument. He has that comprehension that this sits outside of the realm of science, hence why he said there is no proof, not scientific proof.
Real 2016 part 1. I don't recognize this. Does anyone know what this is? PM me or let me know if you guys have seen this. She doesn't go any further than this. She doesn't scroll down, so I don't think that would help anyway. I guess I could punch this in, right? I'm too damn lazy. This doesn't. I don't seem to recollect this. I'm not pulling an Ollie North. I just don't seem to I would remember. I'm a visual learner.
Watched by millions of people. And that...
Oh, I think her point was it was watched by millions of... Let's go.
What? No, I want to know your point. What's an Ollie North?
I don't recollect that, Your Honor.
It's just come back into my head, actually. Yeah, the congressional statement. Inquiry. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I get it now. Sorry.
Yeah. What was her point? Where'd it go? On the bench.
Things going by way of recruiting new is that a few devout flat earthers put up videos here on YouTube.
Did I go the wrong way? There it is. Oh, because it has 1 million. I see. It has the number down. That's what she was going for. What the fuck? So what? Who cares?
Of people.
Where's the proof of the sphere tard? Ball tard? That's what we're waiting for.
No.
This would have been over.
Fallacy ad populum.
Yep. In the first minute or two, back down here, right? Back over here, if you just provide proof of the sphere tard. As simple as that. Why are you diverting? What's up with all these theatrics and poisoning in the well and carpet bomb barrage of fallacies? Right? Are they all tells for your Deuce 7 offsuit, love? Yeah, they are. You clown fuck.
And that had consequences.
This is going to have consequences too. You pretender clown fraud. Fuck. You're an idiot. You have no science acumen to speak of, and you're a fucking moron. No swearing. You've been using so many logical fallacies. This is embarrassing. You're a fuckwit. You get it? He's not listening.
In a 2018 poll in the United States, 2% of the respondents...
Back to the polls! From a theoretical physicist. Get ready for the next treatment, because that's what she does. She goes to polls.
Said they believe the Earth is flat.
So 2% of America.
By the way, just what she's appealing to. That there's the definitive. She's now appealed to statistics, not science.
Yep.
So a supporting evidence is now correlation, fundamentally not being scientific in any way, shape, or form.
Look at this. Just 66% of millennials firmly believe that the Earth is round. By Hoang Nguyen. He's a data journalist. From the philosophy and religion, science, and environment. Yeah, they go together. Who cares anyway? This is doesn't have anything to do with anything. Who cares? So 2% American, they say resolutely the Earth is flat. Damn. When was this? 2018? Boy, it's much higher now.
While another 7% are not quite sure.
So they're fence riders. I don't give a shit about polls anyway.
Reliable numbers are hard to come by.
Then why'd you bring them up? Are those reliable? Can you validate the reliability of the article you just posted for 5 seconds and just scroll down slow through? Can you do that? You fucking clown.
But we are meanwhile probably talking about more than 10,000 people.
10,000 people? Yeah.
I want to criticise QE there from the past. I'm surprised numbers, again, were appealing to statistics as opposed to any form of empiricism. Well, you may gather those statistics empirically, but fundamentally your methodology of appraisal is correlation, and it's not a cause and effect relationship. This is a supposed scientist backing up her stuff with probability. This is embarrassing if you're supposed to be showing us as non-scientific, like just pseudo imaginary people that are making stuff up. You're using correlation to support your argument.
Correlation of jacked up polls? Give me a break.
Well, yeah, of then.
Too.
Sorry.
2% of what is the population of Earth? What is the population of the United States? Somewhere 350 million, somewhere in that vicinity. 2%. It's a lot more than 10,000 there, you doofus. Where'd you get your degree from? Tuco Community College in Tobago. I'll bet you that was the mail order section, wasn't it? You just compromised yourself again. You're a fuckwit.
The developed world.
There's lies, damn lies, and statistics.
Yeah.
To quote Churchill. But sometimes there is a point, particularly as you quoted there, there's 350 million people. So what's that? 7 million people. It's not like 7 people. It's not the 10,000 number she used.
Yep.
Just taking the United States alone, which has the lowest level of flat earthers back then. And if you go to Asia, it's a lot higher. But just in the United States alone, at the point she's calling everyone a retard, there are 7 million people, by her statistics, that are so retarded they're dumb. Yeah.
Even though it's irrelevant.
Science. That was
Reject science? Why would anyone need to reject? This isn't a scientific topic, love. This is a geometry topic. Right? The shape of something? Yeah. That's geometry, not natural science, fuckwit. You just exposed yourself again. What is this, the 8th time with science? With logic, it's around 25, 26. She's toast. Should never recover. You're not going to recover from this. This is the 8th time with science. You're clueless.
Was settled by the Middle Ages.
Another appeal to age fallacy. Let's take a break. Let's see what's going on out there. I need to take a break. I'm getting sick of watching her dumbass. All right, we'll stop it there. Is that okay?
So she appealed. Yes. Well, just the final point, which I find historically interesting. That's an appeal to history, and the point in history she appeals to is the point where there is no history.
Yep.
Not my claim, hers.
Yep. She's a kook.
It's wholly ignorant, right? She's embarrassed. I don't hold her to account for citing the Middle Ages, the time when nothing happened, where we stopped building cathedrals, waited 600 years, and then carried on with the magnificence of Cologne. Listen to the justifications. The justifications come out of historical ignorance. The reason we prove it is because the time when nobody knew anything and all they did was grow beetroots.
Grow beetroots.
There's a phrase in Blackadder. What do you want? What do you want? I'd love a turnip. If you could have all the money in the world, I'd love a massive turnip in the country. That's the Middle Ages summed up. That's apparently how humanity functioned for 600 years.
Just before the video goes out of everyone's minds, the poll she referred to in that video was 2% of the American population. Recently, her poll has shown 5%. It's basically the same poll, just done a few years later, which means there's an extra 1.5 times more, right? than what there was back then. So if it was 7 back then, you're talking about 17, 18 now, right? According to that poll. Not the polls mean nothing, but it's just saying these are the things that do mean something to them. And when they say that, that's a problem. That's why Danny Faulkner has come out with this movement is growing as the title of one of his videos. And Sabine came out last week and lost it. You know, she went crazy for 8 minutes. So that's what's going on. They're looking at polls, things that do matter to them, and they're seeing this thing is not going away. It's actually getting bigger and worse. So that's what's happening with them, just so you know.
That's a great point, Bri. Yeah, that's, if we go to a recent video, that's why we're dangerous, isn't it, now? Because if we get to the point that 20, 30% of populations think this is nonsense, where does her funding go? That's why we're dangerous.
Oh, man,
Because
you guys
she
remember?
reaches so funding.
You remember Clash of the Titans, where the gods started to lose their power because people were stopped having faith in them, and they're getting weak and old, and they're like, "Oh, I wish people would believe in me."
No, I don't remember that.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why we're dangerous. We're dangerous to the gods of heliocentrism, AI. Exactly.
Yeah. Betty, you still with us?
Barely.
Yeah, I figured. I'm shocked that you lasted this long.
Yeah, well, I'm doing something in the background too.
I'm not having it, actually, because, Betty, I'm on European right now, and I'm with you. I'm still with it. So
I'm still with it
I've
too, but I
moved.
can do two things at the same time.
You
I mean,
wickering
hello?
yourself a clue.
I am a multitasker.
Yeah, sure you are.
I'm learning Chinese, but you're learning.
What?
我是美国人. That's
I'll,
Chinese for I am American.
okay, Betty, what is Chinese? And when you say Chinese, do you mean Mandarin or Cantonese?
Mandarin.
What's Mandarin for the earth is flat?
It's
I know it in Italian.
I haven't got to that point yet.
Come on, you've got to go and research that. That's next week's answer. You've got to do that.
That would be great, yeah.
Yeah. Now remember that for next week's answer. All right, we got to wrap it up, guys.
Oh, la preparedness.
We got to got to wrap it up, guys. Betty, take us home.
How? Ni hao.
You know the usual way.
Just direct back. You know Ballbusters this Saturday? Like that?
I was gonna go another route, but okay. I was gonna say the usual way through deceit and
Deceit? I don't get that one. Sorry, you need to inform me.
deceit and what was I looking at? What was the other word? I forgot it already. Deceit and seduction. That's what I was gonna say.
Deceit and why?
You don't get it. That's all right. Take us home anyway.
Explain that to me.
I ain't gonna. If you have to explain something like that, then you just ain't got it.
Yeah, you ain't got it.
No, you didn't get it.
Yeah, but you haven't brought it over to me, so you didn't get it.
You know, when women take men home, they use deceit and seduction. That's what I was going for.
Ah.
Follow?
No, I just used my body.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Take us home, girl.
I just have to lay on the beach, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
Mm-hmm. With the apparent horizon behind me.
Oh, brother, we're gonna get into that. I was gonna, yeah. Don't worry about that. We'll get into that. Yeah, yep. Go on, Betty.
Oh, no, Betty, just give me a minute. I've realised I've got a few more black swans. I was at the beach the other day, and there's some gas rigs off the coast on the Adriatic, and I'm laying on the beach, and I can see two, whatever they are, they're like platforms, like on the black swan images, 2 sets of platforms. And again, I've got a horizon in the background laying on the beach.
Really?
I'm going to send you those. Yeah, I'll send you those. I'll send. Yeah.
You took those.
I don't know what they are. They're like oil rigs, but they're like mini oil rigs. I don't know if they're gas or, but they're those sort of platforms. And there's 2 or 3 of them. I've got a boat, and I've got both of them, and then another horizon behind both of them. It's lovely.
They got to be
perspective, Adam. Mini oil rigs.
What?
No,
What they got to be permanent though, and you have to know the distances to them.
Yeah, I've got them. They're on there. They're marked. They've been there 10 years. Do you know what I mean? So I know they're there. So I'll do the.
Okay.
I'll do the ranty business to them, or the BLMMB 69, but like I said, it's just, and again, you don't sometimes need to do it. You can know that they're so far away because you're laying on your belly at the sea, and you can see them. That actually, that's a black swan. You can validate it with the numbers, but there's certain logical conclusions. If you're gifted an R from a baller, that means you can disprove that R.
Okay.
There isn't a physical
Adam?
anyway.
Adam, were you biting the dust, lying on your belly on the beach?
Oh, I weren't like Tony. Well, yeah, I was. Yeah, on the ground. Yeah, taking the picture. So.
Yeah, another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust.
Oh,
Another
brother.
One. Hey.
Hey. Goodbye, guys. I'm gonna have to carry us home then. Good night, Discord. Good night, Discord. All right, guys. Like I said, keep a weathered eye out for the next treatment. Like I said, I have some issues tomorrow. Could be some heavy, severe weather here. So if you don't hear from me again, you know what happened. So I'll try to get to the treatment, but I'll get there. It'll be Sabina Bruce, her most recent video. So it's lining up. So I hope you liked today's show. It was purely off the cuff, so it went really well. Hope you enjoyed it. QE out.
Horizon that we're saying is not physical. It's refractive.
Nothing. You hold your hand out in front of you. Is that your physical hand you're seeing?
Correct.
No, it's not. Hold your hand out in front of you. Is that your physical hand you're seeing?
Correct.
No, it's not. Hold your hand out in front of you. Is that your physical hand you're seeing?
Correct.
No, it's not.